run. Just going to pop in with a few donations while we're getting set up. So let's see what we've got. So we have a donation from Lillian Kind with $15 saying, I love this game so much. Thanks to you guys for playing this game and do this for so a good reason. Thank you so much for that. And we have a $5 donation from Garyon. $5 bonus donation just for the estimate Parabol. Donation Streamer's Choice. Thank you again for that. I do also want to remind everyone that we are still raising donations for our level 1 critical Julius fight. So we do want to reach that, as it should be a pretty exciting fight. We are only just under $300 out of the needed $1,500. So you're going to want to get your donations in for that. Okay, so it looks like we are ready to get started. So let's give a cheer and get ready for some exciting Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance.
Woo! Yeah.
All right, so why are you here?
Commentate. You know.
No.
So yeah, so this is Adam, the runner.
Hi, Adam or Atzero.
The second most qualified person here to talk about this game is me, Spike Machida. And we have our most qualified person right here. What's your name?
Laura Lynn.
And you've actually beaten this game, haven't you?
Yep.
How old are you?
8.
J Hobbs, how old are you? At 8, I had never even played an RPG, so that's really impressive. All right, so yeah.
Yeah, ready to go?
You ready to go, Laura Lynn?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, hi everyone. This is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD. If you want to just go over like New Game Plus.
Riku.
Yeah, sure. So we're doing this on beginner mode, New Game Plus, obviously the fastest way to play the game. So the only thing that actually carries over in New Game Plus, it's not like your levels or money or anything. He's fighting Ursula right here, and that's actually the right attack.
Yeah, that's the pattern I wanted.
That's basically just going to allow him to get in more attacks here without her leaning her head back. But yeah, New Game Plus, the only thing that's actually going to carry over are your Pokemon in this game, the Dream Eaters, which you'll see coming up in here a little bit. They're going to allow him to have all these other abilities.
Should we have had Kiza on him?
I was about to say, you're actually probably the second most qualified person to be here, Keys, but. As you saw there, any of you guys, maybe if you aren't familiar with this game, but you are familiar with, say, Birth by Sleep, kind of one of the bigger handheld Kingdom Hearts games, in the bottom left corner, instead of just having attacks and a bunch of different moves that you equip from your abilities menu, it's actually a command deck that you have. I believe starting off, you only have like 4 commands to kick it off.
Yeah.
And each of those commands, you can use them infinitely, but whenever you use one of them, it has to take a little bit of recharge time.
Any command, but that's not an item. Items
Yes.
can only be used for as many as you have.
So that's something else he has to keep in track. There will be times throughout the run where he wants to equip items, and it'll just be their consumables. Once you use them, they are gone forever. So right here, what's going on here, these are the dives. You're going to see 14 of these throughout the run. In a way, kind of auto-scrollers. He's dashing as much as he can. So the goal of each of them, you're going to see 7 with Sora and 7 with Riku throughout the game, is he needs to complete usually both a certain amount of either like collect a certain amount of points, kill a boss, whatever it might be, and beat it in a certain amount of time, which gives you a multiplier, and if he does them well enough, he's going to get an A rank for each of these.
Which I might not for this one. I missed one of the big stars. Okay.
Hey, all right.
It was close.
That would not have been the way to start the run. All right, so 2 of these right off the bat. There are a lot of those, like some of them might seem pretty trivial, but they will get progressively harder and more punishing later on, to where you can potentially lose minutes. So hopefully we go 14 for 14 in this run. Also a cool mechanic that's exclusive to this is this flow motion. Do you want to explain a little bit about flow motion?
Yeah, so flow motion is a movement mechanic they added in 3D that allows you to gain large amounts of distance by jumping off of walls, large enemies, pores, etc. And it's what I'll use for a lot of movement, specifically on Riku throughout this run. And they made a lot of the worlds in this game around flow motion. You'll notice a lot of worlds will have wide open areas or like really large buildings that you can climb.
Yeah, it definitely makes for like some super fun movement. I haven't played the game myself, but it looks super fun anyways. So now we're in the tutorial phase, and this is what we were talking about, how New Game Plus is going to start to come into play. This is also where Laurelyn might get to jump in here a little bit, help us out a little bit, because we don't know how to do this. I've literally never done it. So here's our Pokemon. It's Meow Wow.
Yep.
I had that right? It's Meow
Yes,
Wow.
Meow Wow.
Meow Wow. My bad. We have the actual commentary in the back. All right, so it teaches you how to be nice to your kitty cat, little bear things,
Do you want to help,
things.
Pat?
She is a natural. I would have had to search for the buttons. Apparently, you can do this with a touchpad or with the X button, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I've done this lots of times.
Do you have a favorite Dream Eater in the game?
Yeah.
This one right
Thanks
here.
for the help.
That's really good job. Good job. Look like a very happy Meow Wow after that. I feel bad. I feel like we kicked J Hobbs off the couch. Do you want to help us out? You could come back if you want to. Laurelyn, would you be okay with letting J Hobbs sit on the couch? Oh, fine. Don't worry. In a few years, she'll be the one running this game. So hi, J Hobbs. How are you?
Don't act like I don't know that the only reason I'm back here is because she has a bedtime, okay?
It's not our fault that we're behind on schedule. All right, so here's Riku, his first of his 7 dives. We're going to see 7 different primary worlds throughout the game. And it's important for a number of reasons. We didn't really explain it, that we want to get A ranks in all of these. If you... Ooh, is that one... Is that going to make this one a little tight, maybe?
Nah, it would be fine.
Okay.
Riku has a minute 20 to beat his dive, so... it's points that matter for him. Time will always be okay.
Yeah, so you can always look in the top left corner of the UI to see the prizes or enemies or whatever. Like, it'll tell you if you're complete on that or not. And then the time itself.
To note, though, the prizes, like, it doesn't keep count. It does keep counting secretly, but it doesn't show you.
Sure.
And you still need to get past, like, the minimum requirement.
Yeah, that's
in order
not
to get
just,
an A rank.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he needs all the A ranks mainly for a Keyblade later in the game, but also there's some items that he gets from dives along the way.
So yeah, this game, you have Sora and Riku, but unlike say like Birth by Sleep, where it's just they have their own closed off, you play as Aqua, Ventus, or Terra. You actually swap between the two characters. Do you want to explain just kind of the basics of those mechanics, Adam?
Yeah, so they have a drop mechanic where essentially the game, at any point if you want, you can swap between the two characters, but the game will also force you to swap between characters at certain points in the story, such as what just happened earlier. I hit the plot progression, so the game forced me back over to Riku. We tried not to drop as much as possible. We'll usually only drop when the game wants us to.
Yeah, because, you know, the animations of dropping, and also on top of that, you don't actually just swap and replace your character where they were. You go back to where that character was the last time that you dropped from them. So, for example, when he drops back to Sora from Riku, he'll be coming back to the same spot Sora left from.
And right there, that was actually a tutorial that you could skip, but if you skip it, you have to fight that entire battle. Whereas if you do the tutorial, you just let the fight begin and then you can quit out.
A little bit faster. It's nice.
By the way, I'm just going to give Adam a defense real quick on that. Cutscene skips in this game are awful.
Oh, they're terrible. They're so bad. We thought he was joking until he made us do them.
Yeah, you pause, and then you have to wait about 5 minutes before you can press down. It's ridiculous. So please speedrun this game. It's really fun.
So now he's back to Sora, and soon he'll be doing some purchasing and stuff like that.
Yeah, going around right now just picking up like 6 or so items. This is an amazing piece of the lore in the game. This has to be the best part of the story.
Yeah, you remember this area from Kingdom Hearts 1, but maybe not the tunnel below it.
Just dumping it down and shoot.
Now you have this entire other area. So this is where you can start to really see the powers of flow motion. He can hop between the rails very easily and move upwards very quickly. So even if he had like missed a rail, he could have recovered by just dashing into walls.
And again, it's only for a small amount of time that you can actually keep like a single I guess set of flow motion going. So he does need to like kick off the walls and whatnot a lot of times in order to reset that.
That was like the second time that's happened to you, right?
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen on that railing, but
He wanted to stay on that rail because when he does these glides after bouncing off the wall, there is only a limited amount of time for which he can glide. So he has to constantly be restarting it off the walls.
and I'll only really be using flow motion with Sora during this first world. I end up unlocking a better option for him coming up, but unfortunately Riku is stuck with using flow motion the entire time.
Yeah, there's certain aspects of this that are going to be kind of Sora and Riku like independent of each other, and other aspects that they're going to get to share.
I say unfortunately, but flow motion is fun. It's
Yeah.
just Sora gets a better option.
Yeah, selfishly, I'm glad you have like one of them that have to stick with flow motion most of the time anyways.
Man, can you imagine doing that climb in KH1?
Oh, wow. We'd still be doing it. We'd still be in the tutorial.
Just waterfall cavern with flow motion.
That'd be so
I
good.
want that hack now. Play KH1 with flow motion.
All right, so now Adam's going to be making some purchases. He's going to first be selling off a lot of commands that he's gotten, and then he is going to buy a bunch of these things called water barrels. What water barrels are going to do are they are basically going to level up your Dream Eaters or your Pokemon. They give them experience and LP, and the LP will allow you to unlock these boards, basically these tiles on these boards. It'll make sense in just a moment, so that he can get a bunch more commands and spells and abilities.
Hey, we were on a sale today. He was giving us more money for it. That's something that's random. He could have technically cut that off a little bit early.
Yeah. Also, the naming incentive will be done in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Like 5.
Yeah, we'll tell you exactly when to cut it off. But so yeah, he's leveling up these Dream Eaters. He's got a bunch carried over from New Game Plus. The first ones that he's leveling up are all named Dream Candy 1, 2, and 3 because all he wants them for is for the command Dream Candy.
Yeah, you're going to see these command trees or whatever you want to call them right here. Conveniently for them, these dream candies, which you can almost imagine them as sort of like ethers in this game, they're the first thing on the tree, so it's very simple.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure they all get at least plus 10. If you look down,
Oh.
yeah, dream candy
Yeah.
4. Ooh,
Barely got 10.
he was upset with being the fourth child.
If he only got, you can get 9 minimum. So if he ever got a 9 on one of the dream candies, he'd have to use another water barrel in order to level it up again.
Yeah, I could pet it, but petting it would probably take longer. And
That
especially
too.
with a sale day, I wouldn't waste the time doing that.
All right, so now we're starting to see some of these other ones. You want to remind us what each of these, I mean, we can see by their names what their
Yeah,
uses
so
are.
Aura Lion, the lion in the middle, will give me Kyoga, Ryu Dragon will give me Super Glide, and the Juggle Pups will give me another Balloon-mania. Hey, I got it.
Nice.
So
yeah,
that- yeah.
little skip, basically.
Yeah, it skips an animation of everything showing up on screen. I can't time it. I just spam R2 and hope I get it.
It is like a frame window you're trying to hit, though.
Yeah.
All right, so now he's going to be getting some more Balloonras. That's why they're called balloon fodder, if you couldn't guess.
It's also to know if you've played the 3DS version of this, you might think, oh, why aren't you having to play this minigame? As it turns out on PS4, they just let you skip it, which if you played it, I believe you said you usually get anywhere between like up to like 50 or something.
Yeah.
But if you quit out immediately, saving a minute every time, then you'll get anywhere randomly between 9 and like mid-30s.
Yeah,
so that's
so-
why we were talking about how it would have been pretty unlucky since
Yeah.
he only needed 10.
And this was the animation that I skipped earlier. It's just going through this whole thing.
So yeah, you save just by going to PS4 because of being able to skip all of that stuff. You save what, like 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20, 25.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it sends this segment from 25 minutes to 2.
Also, we forgot to mention earlier, but we all matched with the flannel today.
I tried to wear something that didn't blend into the couch as much this year.
Yeah, apparently I took that place.
So shout-outs to Toji Sucks.
All right, the ones that he's leveling up now are going to be leveled up a bit more than everything else. These are going to be his main spirits throughout the entire run. We have 2 magic lapins, one that is currently named Toji Sucks. By the way, we need to cut off that naming incentive now. And we have the Pseudo Neku, yes.
It's on screen.
I like that delay
I had to
you
wait
put
for
on
it
that
to get on
natural.
screen.
Pseudo-Neku.
Yeah, the magic lapins are going to be really useful for an ability that they can get later on called Spirit Roar, as well as some magic boosts and magic haste that we're going to be able to unlock in just a moment. And Pseudo-Neku is useful for its aggressive nature later on, as well as the other thing.
Comet,
Comet, yes.
which we'll explain about Comet later on, but essentially it is a limit for this game.
It's weird how qualified Hobbs and I would be on this couch.
Do we need Lowland to come back?
Probably.
Your bet time's not too soon, is it? So again, technically he could count these. If it was just like say one of these that were leveling up, you're seeing on below each of them, there 2 numbers are increasing: the EXP and the LP, the link points. And you're looking for, I believe, it's over 300 on each of the
Yeah,
magic
a
weapons.
minimum is
Ideally.
280, but I would like 300.
Yeah. If he gets 300 on like one or both of the magic lapins, he can save some menuing time basically. But it's nothing like major. It's not going to ruin his run if he only gets 280. But
It's
he
not-
does need the 280.
It's not worth going back and using more water barrels
Yeah.
to get.
But right now, there's nothing really. He can't get screwed out of getting to those numbers, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get to at least 280.
Yeah, with the bargain floy, I have 26 water barrels instead of the usual 21, so I'm guaranteed.
Yeah. So he's just going to use all of them and get all this out of the way right now.
I'll probably stop around 5 short and just use my normal 21, just see where I end up. But at least I have a fallback if I'm
if
sure.
need be. Yeah.
So again, these are effectively your Donald and Goofy of this game. They've got a couple of specific things you want them to do. They can attack enemies in combat. Again, there's going to be some major things that they're going to lead to later on in the run. So unfortunately, it looks like we got a little low on Toji Sucks. As it turns out.
It got to the 280 minimum, so that's at least nice. But
Yeah.
He has to take a little bit different path here in the tree.
So now he's leveling up to magic haste here, as well as another magic haste or magic boost rather on the right side. And magic boost increases your magic stat, basically increases your magic damage. Magic haste increases the rate at which your commands recover from their cooldowns, so they'll be able to be used more often.
Specifically magic commands.
Yes.
Okay, so once I finish learning these last couple nodes, then I'll be good for the names for the 3 Dream Eaters.
Yeah, so we'll be needing those soon.
Yeah, this might seem like a lot of kind of build up here at the beginning of the run. We haven't had a fight necessarily yet, but then it just goes really fast from there.
What are our names? The top 3? We're not quite here yet. Yeah,
Top 3 for Soras for the
Yes,
Mudge and
yes.
Lappin. Top 3, we have in the lead is Stormageddon with $20.
Oh, I guess we only need the one.
Yeah,
for
the
each.
one for
My bad.
each.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Stormageddon.
Yes.
STORM.
AGEDON.
AGDON.
GDE. Right.
A-G...
DON.
Okay, whatever. I
What, is it 1G?
E-D-O-N, right?
It's 1GEDON.
Oh, okay.
N is in Nancy.
Oh, N.
Yeah.
Spelling with Spike Vegeta.
What? I said it.
Okay, Pseudo-Neku.
Pseudo-Neku in the lead is Phones with $15.
PHONES.
That is correct.
Phones. All right. By the way, we're going to do our best to call all of these by the names that you guys
there's
donated
no
for.
way I'm going to forget this.
But we might forget here and there. So
All right, and the final Magic Lappin.
Is going to be Shadow Star with $50. And the S in Star is also capitalized.
Okay, that's fitting for its color scheme.
yeah. I'm also really glad that anime didn't win. That was up there.
Shout out to Casa.
What?
Shadow Storm?
Hi, Casa.
Shadow Star, yeah.
Yep,
Oh, stars or stars?
Shadow Storm.
It was just Shadow Star. That's
Oh,
perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
So
we're
we're
good.
good then.
Okay.
All right, so now we're done with them.
All right, so now we'll actually get to build our deck.
Yeah.
So
we're
you
gonna-
might notice a theme of that deck right there. So that's a magic attack. You want to explain what it is? Nah, actually, don't explain what it is.
Okay.
You'll find
Let
out
them
pretty
find
soon.
out.
So this game it's pretty cool with all the flow motion movement, right? And the fact that they have these kind of bigger worlds. But it has like one little downside, I'd say, to the
It's not a downside.
the speed run. There's really only one big powerful ability here.
All right, you go.
So, yeah, Hoko Monkey. Not a lot to talk about for that fight. I mostly just want to be sure my balloonists don't get interrupted.
I have not worked out enough for this.
lung capacity. Oh, screw it.
Oh, someone tie that off. Okay, bye. Whatever.
Okay, I'm breaking out the pump, dude.
Okay, so here's the thing. That might be the most powerful thing in the entire game.
Oh, this is so much easier.
For every one of those, we will pump one of these up. How many times do they get used throughout the run?
Approximately 450 times.
Woo! All right.
Okay. Oh, baby.
I am glad I bought these pumps. Let's see how they work.
I thought we were going to make it to 2 or 3 balloons just blowing up normally.
No, the joke ran out real fast on that one.
All right. So
Wow!
Immediately.
I didn't expect that to happen so quickly.
That was so early on.
We knew for sure it would happen, but we thought we'd get like halfway through the.
Wow!
All right, we'll be more careful.
What? It looks full. Someone tie that up. Chrono, you look built for this.
This is why they keep asking us to come back. So we can pop balloons.
All right, so
balloons. Okay.
Anyways, to actually
Yeah.
talk about Balloon Run, it as you can see, he uses it, and then the animation causes Sora Riku to attack the balloons. The balloons home in on your enemies. Oh, right, I forgot to be blowing them up. There's so many.
All right, we're throwing these bags back there. We're going to commentate, sort of.
Yeah, I don't have enough upper body strength for this,
All
okay?
right.
Gonna have to
Yeah.
throw 'em back
Audience,
there.
have fun. We leave it up to you.
yeah, so Balloon Run, you summon 6 balloons, you go through an attack animation,
What's a pump?
and then those balloons will home onto the nearest enemies.
Oh, God.
So between the damage and the homing aspect, they're essentially the strongest command in the game that I have early access to.
I guess it's a magic without any sort of like specific
Yeah,
element.
it's non-elemental, which disappoints me because they added a water element in this game and didn't make him water balloons. It's a missed
I'm gonna
opportunity.
pop one of these, dude.
So right there, he actually had to stop. So Sora and Riku, another thing they don't share is their experience. He's going to want levels 15 and 13, respectively, with Riku and Sora by the end of the game.
Yep.
Riku For whatever reason, Sora gets a bunch of mob fights in this. Riku gets, like, none.
But all of Riku's give him so much experience.
Yeah.
So there'll be several times where he'll level multiple times in a row very quickly. But for the most part, he's going to want to be
That looked
trying
cool
to
for
just...
not being what I was going
Yeah,
for.
that was pretty good, actually.
He's going to be trying to just rush to bosses whenever he can. But if he can stop for just a little bit in order to get a
All
magic
right, get
stat
the balloon
increase.
in.
Yeah, you
There's
guys got to keep
two.
pumping him up. We're done. All right, so
I bought 6 of those to note.
in this boss fight, so he's going to be using a bunch of ballooners, but then when he gets the opportunity, the boss is going to give him a chance to use what we call a reality shift. And I think you already just used one, right?
No.
Or no, that wasn't it? Okay.
No, he ran away, so I wasn't able to use it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. This is
Yeah.
the reality shift. So the reality shift allows him to just do basically a little mini game and either stun the boss or deal damage or both, or various effects. In this case, he wanted to use it to stun the boss, and the boss still was very far away from him, which really was unfortunate. But Balloon Roads are homing.
So this is hand phase. If the fight had gone well, you wouldn't have seen it, but essentially he disappeared and summoned a bunch of hands. Once the hands are gone, then he'll come back.
Oof.
Those hands just caused like 6 more balloons.
Somebody's mad that I took her place.
Yeah, so a lot of the reason for why he wanted to use that, the reaction command of swords is so he could actually put him in better positioning.
This is going real rough.
Yeah, hand phase is not what you want to see.
Oh, man.
to get him up there. So, because as you can see, the balloons, they'll home in, but they will run into objects.
There we go. Yeah, it's really rough once the boss starts moving to the opposite side of the room, because then you really have to try to catch him as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And that reality shift left him up top and put Riku down to the bottom. That was really rough.
Yeah. It's because it launches him, so it launched him towards that point, but there was a ledge in the way, so he landed on the ledge.
Yeah, the audio on that was great. I hope everyone at home got that one.
If I can quote Spike, God, this is going to be so funny.
God, this is worth it.
Oh,
All right, so I'm going to check the weather here.
Yeah, so the
guys
weather is a mechanic in this game that can give you certain bonuses or potentially detriments just randomly.
Lot of nothing.
And what he's looking for, the only one he really cares about on beginner mode, is something called Overcast, which will increase his magic damage, but also increase the amount of magic damage he takes from enemies.
Yep.
And it's really crucial in a couple spots later, but for some places it just speeds things up. There's never a bad time to get it, basically.
Yeah, and I saw that if I dropped from Riku to Sora back to Riku, I could force an Overcast, so that was what I was doing, though.
Yeah.
And it also allows me to get Overcast in a world that I wanted later on, so it wastes a few seconds, though, to save possibly a minute later.
So this is the first dive where we have a boss fight involved with it. I believe this is the one you want to one cycle?
Yes, if I can one cycle, it would be nice, but I can A-rank with the 2 cycle. The big thing for boss fights is that while for other dives you care about your score and your time, bosses will always get the same amount of points, so I only care about my time. I don't think I agreed to this poll.
I don't even know what to say, dude. We got so many balloons now.
And we're only 2 words in.
I know. I thought this wouldn't happen for a while.
Believe it or not, what's up, dude?
Our crowd really helped us out. Thanks, guys.
Believe it or not, I think they overdid it. The amount of balloons so far.
Anyways, there
not
goes
gonna
the
last.
boss.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I got
man.
the 1 cycle, which is really nice. So it's guaranteed A-rank.
Nice.
Man.
So yeah, did we actually explain the Keyblade that you would get from it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So there are, as you can see, like with any other Kingdom Hearts game, we're going to be getting various upgrades in our Keyblades as we go through. If he A ranks all 7 of them with Sora, he's going to get his best Keyblade, one of his best Keyblades by the end of the game. And Riku, if you A rank with him, same with him, all 7 of them. So that's why the A ranks are so important. There are a couple of other spots where just getting an A rank on them will get him something he wants. But yeah, for all of them, it's just going to be overall beneficial to get those A ranks. Because you want that magic stat as high as possible. Because we're going to be using magic almost exclusively throughout this run. There'll be a couple instances without it.
There's a few spots where we want strength, but we'll touch on those when it comes up.
I also went out of my way to touch that save point back though next to the wall because I'll be using it to save rope back to the beginning of this world later rather than walking all the way back through the world.
Yeah, basically fast travel for anyone who isn't aware.
And while I nicknamed the Magic Lapins Sora and Riku's Magic Lapins, right now I technically have Sora's equipped. That's because the link gauge underneath him isn't full yet, and I need that to be full by the time I switch back to Sora.
Yeah, so Stormageddon over there in the top right.
Yeah.
He needs that pink bar to just get all the way to filling half of that circle.
Yeah. And I'm specifically looking for the word Link to show up next to it because sometimes it will look like it's full, but unless it says Link next to it, it might not be.
Now, this little structure here needs 6 hits,
got a balloon.
but a balloon row will take care of that right away, each balloon counting as an individual hit.
Yeah, so you'll see the big thing with flow motion is just the need to constantly hit another wall to refresh it and let it keep going.
And whenever he gets towards the loading zones, he has to be cognizant of, like, where am I going to touch a wall to drop?
Don't spam X.
Yeah.
So if you spam X while choosing a road, the first option is to redo the dive, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a fun time. I'm assuming you could at least quit out of it.
You
quickly.
can, but it takes like 15 seconds to quit out.
It was
something like that.
Oh,
long.
'cause you got to watch the whole
It
thing
was
set
long,
dive,
yeah.
That sounds like something you did in the practice room. From
Yeah,
Bruce and J House.
maybe I've done that, yeah. So this upcoming boss fight, he starts off with a projectile attack, and if I position myself correctly, it can't hit me.
Nice. And now he actually can just stand out here or hover, so he's just going to be doing that.
I use the reality shift, though, because, one, my Maluna's on cooldown, so I don't have anything else to do, and two, it stuns him, so... And he's dead.
Hey,
Nice. Good job.
So, Adam, I want you to talk a little bit about kind of the specifics of Balloon Run, using it well, because it might just seem like you're just spamming
Yeah,
it.
so a big thing is knowing the arenas that you're in. Balloons pop on anything, not just enemies. So you do want to position yourself in a way where when the balloons break apart when you hit it, that either it's breaking into the enemy or it has room to go hit the enemy. The other one is the casting animation. The moment that the balloons are on screen, it can't be interrupted. So if I can get hit by an attack after the balloons are on screen, then I can go instantly into another balloon row.
Yeah.
So it's actually better a lot of the time to try to get hit while casting balloon row to get them out faster.
Sure.
One other thing to note is, even though in the first world we kind of flip between Sora and Riku pretty quickly, we're not going to be doing that for most of the rest of the run. As Adam mentioned earlier, we want to avoid dropping when we can. So we're going to do several worlds in a row with Riku here and then switch to Sora and do his versions of those 3 worlds.
This is also the second best dive in the game, just because of how straightforward it is. You just sit at the bottom of the screen.
Shout outs to DJ Tifa Hart for finding this manipulation. Yeah, as you can see in the top left corner, there's only one available prize, so it's really, all you got to do is pick it up at the end, and it's just time-based from there.
Get to the end.
To get the A rank.
It's the shortest dive, the most straightforward. There's only one reason why it's not the best dive, and you'll see that later. So coming up, in case you guys haven't been pumping enough with the balloons, we have light cycle pumping.
Yeah, so if you want to match your rhythm of pumping the balloons to the light cycle pumping, there you go. And this is going to be a great time for donations in a moment.
Oh, this will be great.
Basically, Adam's
All right,
just,
here's the rhythm.
he's just
Pump,
going to
pump,
do this.
pump, pump,
Yeah, so when you
Some of you are going too fast. Pump.
you'll see in the bottom
Pump.
left, the square
Pump.
button is change mode. There's 2 different ways that you attack in this game, and when you change the mode of the light cycle, you get a slight speed boost. So by spamming that, I can complete this mini game about 20 seconds quicker than by not doing it.
And with that, let's hear some donations.
Of course, and we have a bunch. Before I get into them, though, I just want to remind you that we only have about $400 out of a needed $1,500 to get our level 1 critical Julius fight. So if you want to see that, please get your donations in.
Also, if that gets met, there may be a secret incentive
Ooh.
after that gets unlocked. So you might want to make it happen soon.
And we definitely
you
like
guys
secrets.
absolutely- He showed me this fight like yesterday. It is hilarious. You want to watch it, trust me.
Perfect.
They're
So
kind of already hinting at the secret incentive right now.
It's fine.
lovely. So we do have a $50 donation from Biscuit047
Yo, Biz.
Hey, Biz.
saying, Adam, please have J-Hubs explain the time travel lore
No!
in this game for the stream.
I said this was not allowed to happen.
Thanks in advance.
All right, so basically,
Liam
Liam Neeson. No, that's the furthest I got. Keep going.
Thanks so much. So we have a $10 anonymous donation, which says, hey Adam, Nephilim here. Good luck on the run. This goes to Julius. Show us how broken this game can be.
Thanks, Sniff.
$5 from Earthboundian, who says, yo, KH family. Sorry I wasn't able to make it here, and I won't be at SGDQ either, but I hope to see you all at AGDQ next year. Good luck on the run, Adam. I know you'll do great. Money to Kassa's choice. Much love to you all. So,
Hey.
Kassa, if we don't have your choice, want to let us know?
Thank you.
I love just looking up at the projector and seeing how many balloons
I
there
know,
actually
there's
are.
so many already.
We're on world
Right.
3 of
We
14.
might have overdid it.
So this is the second part of this mini game. The only big thing about this is that I want to jump when he charges at me right there because it allows me to get kind of stuck in his hitbox and he takes more damage than he should. But outside of that, I'm just shooting him.
Ideally, I'm assuming you want him to be behind you in the light cycle trail.
I want him to be in front of me, but close enough that I'm still targeting
Oh,
him.
sure.
Like right now, when he got too far away, I don't want that. But these shots would do slightly more damage than the light cycle trail does.
Getting before that turn is basically what he's usually looking for.
Yeah.
If he gets around that turn, that the boss is going to become untargetable for a while. Jamming music, though.
So coming
I was
up,
like, this is a banger, dude.
so coming up is one of the few times in a cage game where I'm not going to go forward.
Who made this discovery?
That was also Tifa Home.
Yeah, Adam described 99% of the time in Kingdom Hearts, if you hold forward, you're probably going to the right spot. As it turns around, if you turn around and go in this like elevator or whatever,
Hardest movement in the game,
Transporter.
apparently.
Shut up.
transporter, you skip like 30 seconds of stuff. You skip like 4 rooms or something stupid.
So the benefit of flow motion is also the curse. If you run into like any wall or rail or anything,
But that was
it's
the
gonna
camera turning around on me.
snap you.
Oh gosh, balloons, people. We don't have enough balloons on screen right now. Thank you.
We thought about buying a helium tank, but we didn't want balloons falling down 4 runs later.
Yeah.
All right.
So Stomageddon's, his link gauge was full, so I swapped him out for a Shadow Star now.
Yeah, remembering the name.
Yeah.
All right, so for the remainder of the run, I will be looking at the projector. I cannot see the TV.
Someone needs to start rubbing a few on his head and just like sticking it to random places on his body.
I don't know about
If
you.
I were
I
a
think,
boss, I'd be dead right now.
I think we can bury Spike a little more in balloons. What do you
Probably.
think?
Yo, get those donations in and we'll put more balloons on Spike.
All right, you have like 4 over there, dude. Take some of this.
I already did.
You can take this one.
That's a tiny one. Hi, oh, is that one Mickey or Minnie? I can't see.
Okay, oh, all right, here we go.
There we go.
All right. Adam, you're going to have to explain what's going on.
Yeah, so coming up, I'm going to show you guys the reality shift for this world, which is a hacking minigame. Hobbs, if you
Yeah,
wanna-
so just take a look when he does this in just a moment on this turret coming up. Here we go. He's going to reality shift. This is what it looked like when we created the RPG Limit Break layouts this year. Basically, we just pressed X and circle, and then things happened.
was that auto-destruct line in though?
Yep, a few times.
Oh, so there's some subliminal messages in this
Hey, way to
thing?
mess that one up.
Hey, shut up. It was an X button. I have an excuse
We're
for that
covered
one.
in balloons, and we can tell you're screwing up, Adam. Come on, man.
I have an excuse for
I
X.
literally have a blanket for pillows with balloons.
I'm going to end up popping one of these just by the way. It's going to happen.
I mean, it's not the first one. so-
Someone give me a pencil.
Adam showing off that you don't always have to jump out of a flow motion, but you can actually just dash between stuff. So a few more of these turrets that he's got to take care of with the reality shift. The gimmick for this is that you just look for a symbol that shows up, triangle, triangle,
Yep.
and then you have to press the right button. On 3DS, it was slightly different, I believe.
Yeah, on 3DS, it would light up on the touchscreen. You just had to touch it.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to, like, be good.
Pretty much all the reality shifts were like touchscreen based on the 3DS.
So I wanted flow motion off that wall before it breaks so that I can make this jump, but the turret shot me out of it.
Now he's going to board the Solar Sailor. And if you want to see the Solar Sailor later, show up to the finale. Or in Sora's part of this world.
Yeah, I think not much to talk about until the boss fight, so you can fit in a couple of donations.
Yeah. Other than the fact that this is probably the most professionally we've ever dressed for a speedrun.
It's definitely my most professionally dressed.
Balloon a la mode. So we've got $100 from Gedrith, who says, "Hey guys,
Yo,
Digital
Gedrith.
Devil Saga and Tales of Symphonia was super fun to couch, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Good luck on your run, Adam. Spam those balloons."
Gedrith, I would clap for that donation.
I can't.
We've got $10 from Anonymous saying, "Awesome cause, awesome stream. Thank you, we do our best." And $50 from Anonymous with no donation comment, but thank you so much.
I lost my pepper.
We have $10 from Rocco Doctilus, which says, "Thanks to all of you for coming together for such a great cause. Woo!"
All right, so coming up, this is one of the few bosses in Just a Cage series in general that actually has hard HP gates.
I like how I try to look over at you and I can't really do it. I can't even see Spike. There's no chance.
Oh, we got a boss. You know what that means, people.
Yeah, so HP gates, like Adam was saying, he's going to have to use reality shifts in this boss fight, similar to the first boss fight we saw in the run.
Yeah, the first one will be in 1 or 2 more Balloonas. Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, and it's the reality shifts are the same for all enemies within the same world, so that's why he's doing the same hacking mini game.
Yep. So I have to do this twice in order to get past the HP gates, and then one more time at the end to actually finish the fight.
Oh, good. They're tiny. They're starting to run out of the big ones.
All right, here we go. One more. Oh, boy. What?
I'm surprised you can tell which buttons to press. This is the most impressive part of the run so far.
Oh, my God.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you can probably fit in a few more donations now.
Perfect. So we have $10 from Essentia saying, "I,
Hey.
Essentia, would like you to remember that I would like to continuously praise my Dark Lord and Savior, the Demon Chocobo." Wait, there's no incentive for my Dark Lord and Savior? Okay, put it towards level 1 Julius. Also, hi Bob from Epic Kai 13. And we've got $100 from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you so very much.
Remember, we got to get those donations in for that Julius fight because this run doesn't last very long other than, another hour and a half. And if we unlock that incentive early, then we will get a secret incentive unlocked. So we got to make it happen way earlier than the end of the run.
All right, so I believe this was the only one you had set up for getting your multiplier.
Yeah, this is the one with Overcast.
Okay.
So this road, I actually have Overcast active, so I should be able to defeat the boss in a pretty quick cycle, which I'm pretty thankful for. This boss can be rather annoying without Overcast.
Yeah, it was kind of, we talked about it earlier on the run, but again, this game has a weather mechanic. Very silly, but
I swear, this is like 2 strokes away from a golf game, like actually.
But again, Adam wants to look for like those little magic wands. It'll tell him what the next couple of days look like. He technically could kind of re-roll over and over again to see if he can get more of them. Adam, do you generally find yourself resetting a lot here in kind of the early stages?
I don't reset when I play this game.
Yeah, ever.
My watch buzzed. I don't think I can read it, though. Oh, boy.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, boy. All right, well, done with the dive. So now pay attention to how much damage he's doing in this next world, because it should be increased by a pretty significant amount. I think you said around 20%.
Yep. It's also worth noting I just got in my 5th Balloona thanks to that dive.
Oh, good. Even more.
Equipping that on Sora and Riku so that they have it. You'll notice Riku had another slot that I could have equipped something on, but if I equipped anything, it would have been a Cura, and I would just replace that later.
Yeah, Riku is not going to have any kind of difficult bosses or mobs for a few worlds here, so he doesn't have to really worry about using Cure.
Technically, I have died on this next boss before, but with
Oh
Overcast,
no, we're doomed.
with Overcast, that shouldn't happen.
You take more damage from Overcast too.
Yeah, Overcast, yeah, it does increase boss magic damage as well, so this boss does have magic attacks.
Yeah, I believe it's by 20%, you said, so
Yes.
we're going to get 1.2 times on the magic, which might not seem like that much, but it actually can save you on a bunch of balloons.
Yeah, when you're using 10 Balloonas in a boss, 20% takes out 2 of them.
You heard that, folks, right? Get ready to pump up 10 more balloons. 10 each.
I was about
Yeah,
to say, I don't feel like you guys have gone
We
active.
wanted to say, originally Hobbs wanted to do a balloon for every balloon in a Balloona.
Yeah, that was a
so
bad idea.
It would be 6 times as many as what they've been doing so far.
Basically, we were going to need 3,000 balloons if we did it by my original idea.
Yeah.
We thought 500 might be fine.
We bought 500 balloons.
And then another couple hundred.
And then more.
We also bought 7 pumps. The party store around the corner was like, we've never had this much business.
Yeah, so for this fight, I'm looking for the reality shift, which there it is. So he's stunned, and I should be able to kill him before he does anything
Please
else.
kill him soon.
Yeah, so if he doesn't kill him here, then the boss might travel all the way to the opposite end of the room,
should
which
be
would
one
really
more.
suck. Okay, that's good.
Hey.
Clap, people. We can't do it.
I cannot clap.
Thank you. We physically
Here,
can't.
here, someone clap my hand.
I wasn't
There
told
it
all the
is.
balloons were going to end up uphill.
Neither was I. This was not the plan.
All my children.
If you're getting noise in the microphone, I'm sorry. That's a balloon.
That's what they all say, Habs.
All right, so at this point, the game doesn't want one character to get farther than another by a certain amount, so I actually have to drop back to Sora
you see
and
that
complete his Ring of Words before I can continue on with the story. So we're going to be playing as Sora now.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, that's really not going to have a lot to explain at the beginning of his Notre Dame's word, so this is probably a good time for donations.
Excellent, and I want to update everyone that we're about $800 in out of $1,500 for that
All right,
Julius
nice.
incentive.
Let's keep it
So
going.
keep the momentum going. We want to see that. So to start, we have $30 from Kirby Master saying, Kirby Master from the donation station donating for the Julius fight. We need more paraballoons. How about some more on Hobbs? Okay, we've got a donation here. $20 from Anonymous saying, put this towards more balloons. I mean, Julius fight. Julius fight has more balloons, right?
It's the same thing, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, it does.
Had roughly 1,500 balloons.
Only that amount? So we've got $10 from Terrence saying, Spike, Hobbs, Adam, and balloons. This is the best run, and I hope we see Julius. Good luck with your run, and please, guys, we need more balloons for Spikes and Hobbs. They are not happy enough.
Okay, so coming up at the beginning of this world, I guess we can talk about Comet for limits.
Yeah. Don't forget to show.
Yeah, I'll be showing the first. So Spike hasn't seen Comet yet.
He hasn't seen the animation,
The animation,
of it.
yeah. So we wanted to keep that pure, let him experience it for the
Adam
first time.
normally skips the animations for the dual links, and your dual links are basically like your limits
Yeah.
for this game. So yeah, coming up pretty soon. This is why he needed Stormageddon and who's the second one?
And phones.
Phones. Yeah, he needed Stormageddon and phones to have full link gauges. For this right here,
Yeah.
in just a moment.
Got ahead of yourself. Okay. So normally I would skip this, but we wanted Spike to see it.
What? 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 How did they get there? What?
Anyone here an FF7 fan? Because that's basically the
Everything
Sephiroth.
died.
But that elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elephant. That is a strong elephant. So yeah, Comet's cool. You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
You saw it.
Please.
Yeah, that's actually
Blows
the
everything
biggest.
up.
That's actually the biggest thing we'll be using in this run that relies on a strength stat. Funny enough, that's not a magic command.
So did you switch in this world, your Keyblade?
I only have one Keyblade to
okay.
switch to, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
so
later worlds I will.
in other worlds, he'll be switching his Keyblades from a magic-based Keyblade to a strength-based Keyblade whenever he knows that he needs to use Comet.
I swear that was a balloon. I swear that was a balloon.
Yeah, so coming up is you're going to notice a theme where Riku just runs through a world and does his boss fight. Sora, on the other hand, has to do a lot of forced fights in between them.
Yeah, again, we talked about it earlier. For whatever reason, Sora just gets a bunch of forced fights, which is convenient for getting him his experience he needs. Riku just doesn't get as many, but they kind of even it out by making them worth more. So, specifically here, he's trying to just kill off these different, like, Hornet-type enemies, I guess, in order to open up the path so he can get through Notre Dame.
And I'll always attack one physically before using a ballooner to try to stun it to where it doesn't move and the ballooner can kill it.
Yeah, otherwise it might fly around and be really obnoxious.
So does that ballooner count even though it didn't hit anything?
Sure. Pump them.
Oh, yeah, if there's a balloon on screen, I want it on top of me afterwards.
Oh, okay. All right. Here, yeah, I'll lift the chin. You can just put more under there. Yeah, all right.
The chin of destiny.
All right, so now it's really just going to be running to Sora's boss fight, so probably a good time for a couple of donations.
Yep.
Well, do we have so many? We've got $5 from Acklorin saying, of all the things you expect to hear at a speedrunning event, so Liam Neeson is not one of them.
Oh, you clearly didn't pay attention to RPG Limit Break 2017 then.
So that donation is to Runner's Choice. Thank you. We have $10 from Chilled Like Ice saying, donating $10 for more balloons because, well, more balloons.
At this point, I don't know if they're actually putting more on me, but just replacing ones to make them fresh. Like,
We've got $3.33 from Scala Kitty saying, have to donate to cover Spike and balloons.
Well, you did it.
At what point are we just going to bust out of all of these?
the end.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Oh, hi.
Do it at the halfway point so they have to refresh it.
I'm glad we got
Wilson.
headsets on, or I probably wouldn't be able to hear you either.
I feel like Wilson from Home Improvement right now.
All right, time to look at the projector.
I actually got a better view of the TV right now. Although half of the projector is through a red filter right now. Okay.
Let's get like 2 more donations.
Perfect. So we have $15 from Dragon of Lords saying, Kingdom Hearts is one of my most favorite series out there, so I just had to donate during a Kingdom Hearts run. Well, this is definitely the one to do it in. $12 from NPC saying, gotta love a game like Swords and Serpents, where a character password is 12 characters, a level password is 14, which means a single game password is 62 characters long. Bidding to name one of the characters Mort because he is the strongest chicken and will take down those serpents. So that's a run we will see after this one. So look forward to that.
Hey.
That was the boss.
Oh, good. Deck capacity increased. You get another one now.
Yeah. So a big thing I was looking for in that fight is for Pseudo Neku. Like, that's one of the fights where I want Pseudo Neku attacking the boss.
Here, rub it on Spike's head and then try to stick it to me.
So I have an update if you folks have a second.
So,
Yeah,
sure.
Go ahead.
I would like to let everyone know that we have met the donation
Yeah.
incentive for level 1 Critical
Clap,
Julius
boys.
fight.
now keep donating.
All right, so with that, I think we're going to unlock our secret incentive now, right? So should we let them know what the secret incentive is?
I mean, have they not already?
So the incentive is going to be called Balloonra IRL. Because we're going to take all of these balloons and throw them at Adam while he's doing that secret boss, that powerful super boss that you guys just unlocked.
So if you didn't think there were enough balloons yet, I'm about to pop 150 of them. So
Oh, no.
Oh, no. All right, so are we popping a bunch or are we replacing everyone that you pop?
We're not popping.
Let's replace everyone that he pops, so get busy, folks.
so
You heard the man. I bought 500.
yeah, I mentioned earlier that Riku's grid dive was the second best. This is the best for obvious reasons.
Who would have thought buying 500 balloons wasn't enough?
So I believe this is time for Fant to make his entrance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yo, Fan, where you at, man? I literally can't see you. Where you at?
So we're heading to a circus world,
That's cool.
basically. And so we thought it'd only be appropriate. Oh, that's a great noise. We thought it'd only be, you got to push that down further. I'm not going to be able to
He's
help you
got
out
a
here.
big skull.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep, there we go. we thought it'd only be appropriate to have some balloon animals and hats. So after the 500 balloons we bought 200 more so we can make balloon animals.
Yeah, so you may have noticed I'm doing these worlds in a slightly different order than I did on Riku. That's mostly because in Sora's grid, he only has a boss fight, no force fights. So if I do Prankster's Paradise first, I can do fights here, gain a level, and then do more damage in his grid. So it makes it slightly faster.
I like how you're still trying to actually talk about the speedrun.
Hey.
All right, so right there, he also in his command deck just put in the first and only, well, no, not only, but the first consumables items, the dream candies. You can kind of imagine them almost like ethers. If you look on the right side of the screen that I can't see right now, you can see on the UI, God, Comet's a great attack.
He filled up the link gauge basically with the dream candy and then was
the
able
little
to use
pink
the
parts.
Comet.
Oh, wow, I can see. You see the pink bars? That's kind of like their MP. For every dream candy you use, that's going to refill exactly half for each of them. So if you use up 2, it will fill them up to full.
Yep.
You actually kind of want to see a couple times where maybe you only have to use 1
Yeah,
dream
thankfully
candy.
that was the case this time. I only needed to use 1.
So that's going to allow him to use 1 extra Comet later. I
Bob
believe.
has the best hat.
Yeah, so the biggest thing now is that before I fight the boss of this world, I'm looking to hit level 7, so I'll be keeping track of my experience in these next couple fights.
And I
But-
assume, once again, level 7's a magic stat you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, but aside from that, there's not a whole lot left to explain. I guess in the upcoming fight I'm about to do, I am going to lose my Dream Eaters. When that happens, I still have the passive effects like Magic Haste and Magic Boost, but they won't be in the fight to help me out. And you'll see that happen in a few fights throughout the game. Right now, it's not really important since they don't know anything that helpful, but it's more important later on when it happens.
We also never really mentioned that, like, I mean, we mentioned that Super Glide was going to be Sora's form of
yeah.
movement, but we never exactly pointed out that it has now become his big form of movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so notice I'm just flying everywhere. I got that from the Ryu Dragon at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And it isn't always necessarily faster than flow motion, but because I don't have to constantly refresh it off of walls, it is faster over a long distance.
God, this is so funny.
God, this was worth it.
I guess until the boss fight, we're probably good for donations.
I think the whole couch is.
Yeah, we could do a few more donations.
Excellent timing, and I want to let everyone know that the Balloon-mania IRL incentive is live. So if you do want to see that, it's going to be $500. So keep those donations coming. And speaking of donations, the one which pushed us over the top for the last incentive was a very generous $500 donation from Anonymous. Said, let's see the Julius fight, the secret incentive, and lots more balloons. Well, I think you will have your wish.
Also, we have now on screen a prize you can donate.
We're going to pay for that.
For a minimum $1,000 donation, you'll get in the drawing for that Kingdom Key that you see on screen right now.
It might-
dog!
It might not
Oh,
be.
duck.
It might not be inflated
A
when you get it.
Nitty. It was crafted from the most expensive materials. Oh no, I lost my hat.
You guys can't see on camera, but there are so many balloons at our feet right now.
I mean, I think they can have a rough idea.
I'd like to give a quick shout outs to the next run after hours. I believe it's Final Fantasy 1, and in addition to the shout outs, I'm going to give a big apology.
Yo, check out that jester. All right, he's gone. He was super creepy, just take my word for it. I have a Keyblade made of balloons.
Again, a minimum $1,000 donation to get into the drawing for that.
No promises.
Can we sneak a couple more donations
Yeah,
in?
go
Oh,
ahead.
please,
course.
whatever you want.
Fabulous. So we have a $10 donation from Zawa113 saying, careful there, Couch. If Kingdom Hearts has taught me anything, it's that balloons are deadly. I think Spike Vegeta has lost 5 bars of health already. Let's use those balloons against Julius.
That's just how powerful I am.
We have $10 from Draconian Law saying, glad the world ends with you got some love in Dream Drop Distance and in the Pseudo-Neko names. Now, let's see that fight. We have $75 from Dutch Potato saying, I'm afraid I won't be able to watch the full run, but had to donate for the Kingdom Heart boys who always manage to bring the good vibes to every marathon.
All right, so
Thank you, Dutch.
I have
this
no
boss
idea what
fight-
you mean.
So this upcoming boss fight, this is one of the few bosses where you actually don't win by getting his health down to 0. Instead, once he gets down to about 1.5 bars of health, then his AI will just move on to the next part of the boss fight. But it's up to him to choose to do it. So once he gets down to around 1 bar, I just hope that he moves on to the next phase.
Yo, Fant, you know how to make a lobster? How to
Yeah,
balloon animal?
show me your best lobster, fan. Oh no, did we lose him? We hired him for like 2 hours. He already left. Our professional balloon maker's gone.
Oh wait, we gotta get ready for something. I forgot.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm basically just waiting for him to move on to the next phase. I'm hoping he chooses to do it soon, but
Yeah.
he's not.
Okay, the trigger's right at about 1 bar, you said.
Yeah. And you'll know it happens because there'll be a sound effect and you'll start to glow a little brighter.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter that these aren't hitting. He's just wasting time until the boss stops wasting time.
Jeez, what is up with the boss
but-
right now?
Yeah.
He just
does
wanted
not-
more balloons.
He's just being a jerk.
Yeah, so it's like even now when he's down to 1 health, yeah, it's up to him to just choose to end the fight.
What's the longest you think you've ever waited for this game?
Longer than this.
Oh, no, I am so sorry.
Yeah, so now he's ending the fight, thankfully.
Oh, what a good guy.
So this is phase 2. You had an idea to what to do for the end of this fight, right, Hobbs?
Yeah, yep. We'll we'll see. Basically, we're gonna ride Monstro for, reasons. And instead of just riding on top of Monstro, a whale, we're gonna ride on top of a bubble around Monstro. For some reason.
So the reality shift for this world puts enemies in a bubble. When you pop it, it hurts them. So
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna burst this. We're gonna burst this boss's bubble.
Boo.
Okay. All right. Get ready for it.
All right.
Get ready.
Yeah. So ideally, this should be done as he's using his 3rd set of projectiles.
Get ready.
Waiting.
Stay on target.
And it's not popping.
Wow.
This is indestructible. There we go.
Yeah! That was late.
It wouldn't pop. All right, I'm gonna need somebody to refill me on balloons now.
All right. Do you guys have?
There
Oh
we
my
go.
God! They have so many balloons.
Do we want
Yeah,
Casa that
there's
close?
still a little plaid showing there. You want
Are we sure we want Casa that close to my console?
No, we definitely don't. Casa, just no. Stay away from the console.
From the console. Oh no! I ejected the disc.
All right. So this
Yay.
is the
Thank you for the
second.
dog.
This is the second boss fight dive. Unlike Queen Buzzerfly, well, where it's not as linear. This boss fight is pretty much an auto scroller.
Got it.
So there's not really a whole lot to talk about, other than you will see it later for a lot longer. So I hope you enjoy him.
No. Thank you.
And I believe Fant had a balloon animal for this.
Oh yeah, Fant, we need a squid.
Squid.
Need a squid,
Can you
Fant.
make a squid?
Can you make a balloon squid, please?
Funny enough, I almost got hit and would have had to restart the dive.
Can I squeeze in a quick donation while we're fighting this
Oh,
squid?
yeah.
All right. I guess a dog is like a squid in some ways. I'm sorry. Go ahead with the
Yeah.
donation.
No problem. So we have a $20 donation from the Balloon Store saying,
Oh.
thanks for buying so many balloons. We'll be in business for years. NAMI is a great organization, and I'm glad to support such a great cause.
Can you believe they were about to go under until we showed up yesterday?
Oh man.
You can keep going.
Yeah, he's just waiting to hit this boss again. You're good.
Sounds perfect. So we've got $5 from Millie Mozilla. Well, we clearly need more balloons for that bonus fight. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Get those balloons pumping.
There we go. That's a squid.
There's the squid.
There it is.
I feel like I'm in prison now.
Are you not?
Prison is very soft. Hey, that's another balloon.
I also
What do you
didn't
know? There's a balloon in here.
I did not realize balloons are pretty warm.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is, as you might have remembered from when Riku was here, he would actually travel along those rails, like along those lines on the ground. But Super Glide's a lot nicer for Sora. It doesn't have any kind of little startup animation to it, really.
Now, if a balloon ejects the disc, that would be true beauty.
Luckily, I'm not using a PS4 with a touch sensor.
I don't care. That would still be hilarious.
Now, Adam, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you also just use another Dream Candy, right?
Yeah, so I noticed that Pseudoneku's link gauge wasn't completely full yet, and I'm going to unequip the Dream Candies in a menu coming up. So I just wanted to throw out a Dream Candy to make sure that its gauge is full for an upcoming fight.
Yeah.
I'll be using Comet again. Yeah,
And I think that's the only Dual Link we'll be using, right?
yeah,
throughout the
Comet's
run?
the only dual link
Yeah.
we use. Yeah, up until the boss, there's really not a lot to say for this road, just going through a straight line. So probably go for a few more donations.
Fabulous. Let me just update you with that donation incentive.
Oh, yeah.
We were about 120 in out of 500, so we can keep going. I
I'll
have
make
faith
it
we can
happen.
reach that.
Yeah, you've got an hour for us to take out all this frustration on that.
We have $100 from Anonymous saying, Julius for the boys. $100 donation from Azure Lullaby with no comment. Thank you so much.
Let's hear it for the boys.
$5 from Anonymous. Looks like the situation ballooned out of control here.
Boo!
And one quick comment, we just got another balloon out of that chest, so
So
now have all
time to
6
pump up
ballooners.
some more.
We have $100 from Anonymous. So a kid wielding an oversized key like a club is diving through bells made of golden stars into a dream of a Disney version of a Victor Hugo novel, accompanied by neon magical animals and defending himself with giant homing balloons. I love these games. $75 from Anonymous. Hello, I wanted to donate this to this wonderful and amazing charity event. Love seeing a lot of the games I played as a kid get absolutely destroyed. Donation goes to Spike Vegeta's Choice.
It'll go towards IRL.
$25 from Anonymous. Meow Meow Choco Parabol Balloon?
Yeah, this really is our Parabol, by the way, for those
Right.
of you who were around for the Tails run.
We have
Do we want to say balloon with every time I use balloon?
No. Sorry, you can go ahead.
perfect. We have $5.54 from 13 Lightning saying Meow Meow Choco Chow.
All right, and now he's in this, like, dark Tron fight, basically.
Winslow.
Yeah, what actor
Basically
plays
Sark,
this?
but not. And as you might guess, he's just going to use a lot of balloons for the most part.
There might be a theme to this run. Hey!
Now Zen.
Clap, 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 clap. That's the best I could give you.
So one thing that he just got is he got some like drop bonuses, a drop bonus increase in the level up. Something we haven't really talked about is that when he's dropping, when he's switching between Sora and Riku, Adam has the chance to purchase basically a boost for the character that he's dropping to. So whenever he sees that a magic boost is available, he'll be grabbing one of those.
Yeah, if I have 30 drop points when I swap between characters, I can get a magic gain.
Yeah,
and
and
that'll last until that character drops again.
Right, and he just gets drop points from enemies, basically.
Yeah. So at the beginning of this world, I'm going to be swapping Keyblades to one with a slightly lower magic stat, but with higher strength. And that's because I'm coming up on a first fight where I want to use Comet in order to wipe out the second and third waves. And so with a higher strength, that'll allow me to do that.
Again, for whatever reason, Comet just pulls on your physical stat.
Yeah, and I do also luckily have Overcast for this world, so that's really nice for the boss rush in a few minutes.
Yep, 20% extra magic damage from that Overcast. So yeah, he's taking out as many enemies as he can, as quickly as he can to spawn this wave, and now he's going to use the Comet, and everything's dead.
I like how it just goes to a white screen and just everything's gone. And again, he's looking out for Stormageddon, Phones, and
Shadow
Star. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. He's making sure, specifically Shadow Star and Stormageddon, that they are going to get to that level 13. Level 13 is going to allow them a very overpowered ability that they can randomly use late in the game that will also increase his magic. What's the name of that again, Adam?
It's Spirit Roll, and it'll increase my strength and magic by 50% for 8 seconds whenever they use it.
Which they use it randomly, which can be very, very obnoxious. But if they do use it at good times, then it makes everything faster.
Yep, they'll constantly use it sometimes. Sometimes they'll just use it while I'm walking around outside of battle. So this is the boss rush. It's essentially one of the most dangerous fights on Sora if I play it risky, which I have Overcast, I can probably afford to do that.
Yeah, do it.
Royal. A big thing for this is that I'm going to cure in between each boss. However, I'm not going to immediately because this fight likes to have issues with lingering hitboxes. I very commonly will get hit by an attack after a boss is dead.
So the risky strat he's going to do now is basically he's going to jump into the air and try to get hit out of his balloon res, so that way he can cast more faster. But he can take a lot of damage from this boss if he's not careful. So far he's not really hitting you much.
Yeah,
so.
I think Overcast made the fight go quickly enough that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
it's not. Yeah, go ahead.
As you said, and now for the
to be
third
able
boss.
to see.
For the third boss coming up, Charles Clobster, I basically just want him to use an attack that increases my drop gauge, because it allows me to hit him without really any negative effect. Because I'll be dropping to Riku after this fight anyways, so a high multiplier on my drop gauge doesn't mean anything.
And he is just not using it.
Yeah.
He's just spamming this swipe attack, which, as you can see, is hitting Sora at pretty inopportune times a lot of time.
Yeah.
He never used it once, did
No.
he? That's okay. You still got through the boss rush. Having Overcast really helps a lot.
Yeah,
Makes
like,
it a lot safer.
This world is like within the top 3 worlds I want Overcast in, because it will save about 40 seconds in this boss rush.
Do you have a dog on your forehead?
I don't know. It's something.
Do you have problems with dogs? Because you shouldn't look up if you do.
Yeah, so at this point we will be switching back to Riku, and I should hopefully have 30. I do. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
so-
can get that magic gain.
Magic gain there is just going to increase his magic stat until he drops back to Sora.
Yep.
Yeah, as you can see, time-wise, Traverse Town kind of marks the midway point of the run.
Yep.
Again, you were able to do that first little string of worlds, those 3 with Sora and with Riku, in kind of whatever order you chose. Now you get Traverse Town 2, and then after that we'll get another string of 2 worlds before going to the final world of the game.
Yep. This world is also a good indicator of how much the game likes to throw experience at Riku in his fights.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is where that happens. So you're level 5 right
level
now,
5,
I believe, with
yes.
Riku. Yeah, you'll. Those of you who are into level gaining and RPGs, you might want to watch the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, because the bosses don't give you experience.
Yeah.
Unlike the mob fights, and since Riku doesn't have a lot of forced mob fights, he's still pretty low level.
I will say it's not Disgaea levels,
Sure.
but it's pretty good. I'll also be swapping Shadow Soul out for Stormageddon during this fight to make sure that its link gauge is full, because I wasn't watching during the previous fight, and it needs to be full when I swap back to Sora.
Yeah, because even though Shadow Star is more or less Riku's Magic Lapin and Stormageddon is Sora's, you could still swap between them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't full, so it was very nice that you did. The way we never actually talked about, but the way the link gauges fill up is from when you attack an enemy at the same time that the Dream Eater attacks the enemy.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
level 6.
basically
that's level
random.
7.
All right, there we go. It filled up. So
That's
good.
level 8.
These enemies give a lot of experience.
Yeah.
That's level 11s for them. But there's level 9.
Yeah, so
There's
Riku
the-
has 2 fights like this where he gains about 5 levels in a fight. Another one will be coming up in a couple worlds.
You know,
I'm
they
actually
always
going to
talk
move that.
about, it's such a different experience when you get to run a game at a marathon compared to, your setup at home.
Oh no, this is exactly like home.
I like how Spike got locked into the crossed legs really
I
early.
know, dude. Oh, in an hour.
That was a poor decision.
Just get up.
So, have a water bottle down there somewhere that I'm going to have to find.
I don't think it's happening, dude. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Bot's gonna be mad.
Alright, so coming up, Symphony of Sorcery. I think this is going to be another case where I'm going to be doing 2 words out of order from what the game wants us to do. Because they want us to do Country of Musketeers and then Symphony of Sorcery. Thankfully, Riku doesn't have to fight anything in Symphony of Sorcery, and it gives me the second best magic Keyblade that I can achieve in this run. So I'm just going to rush through it and get that Keyblade and have access to that for most of the game, like until the final world. But yeah, I think during this live, we have time for a couple of donations.
Fabulous. So we've only got about $130 out of $500 towards that Ballooner IRL. And what maybe might help you get some donations in for that is for any $10 minimum bid, you will be entered into a draw for some pillowcase sets made by the wonderful Scala Kitty. So please, if you want some cool pillow sets, that is another added bonus to get those that donation incentive met. We also have $250 from Cyclops Boy. Everyone loves Kingdom Hearts, diners, drive-ins, and dives. We've got $100 from Anonymous. Watching someone slaughter a game in 2 hours when it took me over 40 makes me want to throw balloons at him too.
Well,
Thank you.
you can live vicariously through us if you get us to that $500 mark.
$10 from Chilled Like Ice saying, donating $10 more to change Balloonra's name to anime. Wait, wrong incentive. Loving the run, loving the commentary, loving the balloons. We have $5 from Scala Kitty saying, balloons for the balloon god, helium for his helium throne.
Oh man, we thought about the helium.
So we thought about getting a helium tank for this,
I was so glad we didn't.
but then realized balloons would all go to the sky, and then periodically over the last 4 days of the marathon, you just see balloons drop during runs. So we decided against that and got the pumps instead.
Yeah, so Symphony of Sorcery, I think a lot of people who play this game agree that it's one of their favorite worlds, both because of how creative the world is and the music. You'll notice a lot of classical music play throughout this world, and it is based on the Fantasia movie.
Just a forewarning, this VOD may get muted. Not much we could do about it.
Yeah. Sora's section has issues with getting VODs muted. Riku's is usually fine, which is weird considering it's classical music.
So what Adam's picking up right now is, I believe, the Zero Graviza?
Yes.
Graviza, rather?
Gaviza.
Graviza, yeah. So that is a command that he's going to equip later that effectively will lift enemies up into the air and pull them together like a magnet from other Kingdom Hearts games. So very powerful command that he'll be using for a few fights.
Yeah, you'll see that in the next world when I have stuff to fight.
And what's great is that some bosses in this game are not actually immune to status effects. So we'll see a few of those on both Sora and Riku.
Yeah, though I've actually fought a few bosses already. A big one is Comantus. He is vulnerable to slow. However, it's not worth giving up a Ballooner slot to use that. But now that I have more than enough slots to have all my Ballooners, I can start using status effects on bosses and enemies.
He also grabbed an elixir, which will heal him and it'll heal him as well as increase the link gauge for each of his party members.
Yeah, unlike Dream Candies, it'll completely fill the link gauge, so it saves me a couple Dream Candies. And coming up, I believe it was Faye who found this, even though she hates doing it. So the game wants us to take that path with all those leaves that I just showed. However, instead, there's an invisible ceiling over here. And if I do this correctly, I can just jump past it.
So right about here. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Nice
Clap,
little
clap,
skip
clap,
there.
clap,
We
clap,
would clap,
clap.
but we're covered in balloons.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You were talking to me?
So now some more flow motion. And again, so even though he's not using all of the paths that he's unlocking with these little rhythm mini games, they actually are removing invisible walls as well that would be in his way.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only invisible wall we found a way to get past is the one on that wall that I just jumped over.
Yeah, so even just unlocked a nice clear path. No, we're just going to go around.
Yeah.
Flow motion gives you the ability to basically go wherever you want.
Which is really entertaining that they still have abilities like high jump.
Yeah.
Like, I unlocked high jump back in Prankster's Paradise.
Like you need to question it. We're the ones that aren't supposed to know anything
I
about
don't
this
equip it until the end of the game, so it's hard to remember why I unlock it. But yeah, so coming up, we have the boss fight for this world. Quote-unquote boss fight for this world. I think Spike called dibs on commentating it.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to decide how I can talk about it. Riz knew what I was talking about.
But first of all, if you play Kingdom Hearts 1, you'll recognize it.
Yeah, bit of a recognizable boss. We got Chernobog right here. He is, fortunately and unfortunately, the unfortunate part is he's a dive, so bit of an auto-scroller to fight him. The fortunate part is that it kind of locks the damage you can do, which you'll be seeing coming up here. Notice he has 3 bars of health, and bop, 2 bars of health. That is the highest DPS in the history of DPS. That was like for 1 frame, you got a bar of health taken out right there.
Yeah, but then like 20 seconds of getting back to the boss.
So DPS is probably not the best way to describe it. As you'll find out from both of our Kingdom Hearts runs this week, headbutts into the center of enemies ends up being really high DPS. And I think that's about as PG I can say about it.
A little foreshadowing for the finale.
Yeah,
this is also...
Whoa.
So, I had that happen a few times when I first started running this version, but I haven't had it happen in months, so I just
Weird.
forgot about
Little
it.
camera bug.
Yeah. You also might recognize some of these like phantoms that are going to show up in the dive, like right now in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah, these phantoms are the super boss phantom from Kingdom Hearts 1. Apparently, they're just Chernobyl's minions. Did I say Chernobyl?
I assumed you did that on purpose.
Stick with it, dude. Just be confident about it.
That's
So-
what I used to call them, so I forgot.
You'll see the phantoms grab him. All they do is suck your health, so yeah, you
Yeah.
don't got to worry too much about it. Just got to go fast. Or just dodge them like a boss, like a freaking ninja.
But not the firewalls.
Yeah, and this is also why he was able to come to this world before the other world in this kind of ring of worlds, because his damage is locked for this boss fight. There's no speeding it up by getting, better stats.
Yeah. And now, once I get to the world map, I'm going to check the weather for these 2 worlds to see if I can force an overcast like I did with Prankster's Paradise earlier.
Even though he'll, lose that magic gain that he got earlier, it's worth it if he can get an overcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one specifically are you looking forward for?
I won it in Country of Musketeers or in Sora's Symphony of Sorcery. Okay, so I can't really change anything.
Oh, thank you.
So now, Balloon-mania 2.
Oh yeah, hey, we need another squid.
You got another squid in the house? Fant is over there working hard, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so Balloon-mania 2, I go through the same routine that I did with 1, dodges his attacks, break the 2 orbs. However, instead of dying this time, he's just going to enter a second phase. Once he enters that second phase, I will generally need to go through 3 more cycles to finish the fight. However, it is possible to finish in only 2 cycles, but it's completely random whether or not I get it. I've actually never gotten it before, and I've only seen someone get it once.
So you know what that means.
Yeah, not getting it.
God, it's going to be so cool when you get this.
The other thing about this is once he gets to the second phase, the boss is going to fire big lasers at him, and he'll have to hide behind a rock. And he's had times where he'll hide directly behind a rock, and the boss will still hit him. And if he gets hit even once, I believe, he cannot A-rank the dive, and he'll have to do the entire thing over again. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because again, he is still trying to A-rank these via completing the goals, in this instance being the boss, and beating it fast enough.
Yeah.
So he cannot take that to the face.
Another funny story. I lost a PB on this fight because my controller desynced during the last cycle. So, if you just see me not do anything for a few seconds, that may have happened again.
Yeah, so this is the attack that he had to wait behind the rocks for.
Come on.
Yeah, I can't 2-cycle.
Yeah.
Come on. I still have faith.
Actually, I may be able to pull that off.
Come on.
I'll just say I can, just so you're happy.
Yes.
But yeah, for the rest of the fight, it's just going to be that pattern again, so we're good for a few donations.
Unless he gets it.
Yeah,
then
probably
we'll
like
pop
1 or 2.
We can fit in one or two, letting you know we are only at $300 out of the $500 we need and less than an hour left. So get those donations in. We have $10 from Shadow Dart. Made it home in time to donate. Feels great to help out for this great marathon and great charity. Keep it up. Donation to Reader's Choice. Thank you very much.
Oh!
That's what I usually get.
Yeah, almost able to
All
get
of
the
these
two-cycle
balloons
there.
would have exploded off my body if you got that.
That's the random part of it. Riku has to go over to the left orb on his own during that combo.
Yeah.
I can hold left, and he just chooses not to do it. So
Well, with that, he's just going to hit the boss one more time, so we could do another couple donations.
More charity.
Perfect. Definitely have more to be read. Okay, so we have $20 from Rizu-kun with no comments. Thank you very much.
Yo, thanks, Rizu.
Yo, thank you, Rizu.
$10 from Wanyan. Balloon hype. $10 from Anonymous saying, all hail Demon Balloon Kobo. $5 from Stay Hydrated Bot 216 saying, you have been streaming for 34 hours at Zero. By this point in your broadcast, you should have consumed at least 4.08 liters of water to maintain optimum hydration.
is that from my BBS 100% run?
You'd better find that water you mentioned.
Yeah, so he actually, so that Keyblade he just attached right there went from a 10 magic stat to 14.
Yep.
I believe
And
is the increase.
every single upgrade, like even just one stat increase, what is happening? Oh,
Just let it happen.
Rainbow.
this is going to fall off my head right now, by the way. I'm just you might want to push it on a bit more.
I can't help you. Casa, hair and makeup, get over here.
Yeah, so
I don't know
just,
if this is
okay.
hair or makeup, but go.
We good now. Oh, would you stop it?
All right, so he's selling stuff to, I think you want like 1,800?
yeah, 1800, because I'll be buying a collision magnet, Cura, and slow. Collision magnet and slow for upcoming boss fights, Cura, just to have another Cure spell. Also, killing some enemies I don't need to heal because I want to hit level 15 on Riku by the end of this world. Because this will be the last world that he gains experience in. Also equipping Zero Gavisa on both Riku and Sora and giving Sora an elixir for his next set. Yeah, so I can change commands on both characters whenever I want, but I can only equip a Keyblade on a character that I'm currently on. So I have Sora's command set up, but I'll need to change his Keyblade when I swap to him. It's coming up, Beagle Boy fight. This is another case of Riku gaining way more experience than he should.
Oh, yeah.
There are 3 Beagle Boys, and each one I kill will give me a level up. This is also when Shadow Storm and Stormageddon, I'm definitely not using this to look at their names.
Right.
This is when they're finally going to hit level 13 and become useful.
Yep, and once they hit level 13, they'll gain access to that Spirit Roar ability we talked about, and then Adam will be swapping in 2 of the magic weapons at the same time a lot of the time to try to get more Spirit Roars.
Yeah, they'll hit level 13 as I kill this Beagle Boy, so once I get him in this attack, I'm going to swap phones out for Stormageddon and hope that starting after this fight they feel nice and give me some Spirit Roars.
And there you got to see a little bit of that Zero Graviddles doing its work.
Sure, that's its name.
Zero McGriddles, man. That's what it is now.
Oh. Well, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, so you can see he just leveled up twice
Off that.
immediately.
And again, all of his Dream Eaters, they're getting to level 13. So again, if you weren't here earlier, the ability now that they can randomly use called Spirit Orb, it is something that the way you'll kind of notice is that Sora and Riku will have this like little red aura around them, and that will give you a 1.5 times increase to all of your magic and strength. So definitely something you want to see.
Yeah, I'm also going out of my way here to kill the 2 Oil Lions that are here just for experience. Because they give a lot more experience compared to most other enemies in this world.
The other thing to note, the gimmick of this like purple ground, this purple haze that you're seeing, is that it increases your drop gauge, which is, again, not really too relevant for Adam. He's never too worried about the drop gauge filling up before he wants to swap anyways. But as we did mention, the game can just force you to drop if that gauge fills up.
More
I also
use
did
to
get a Spirit
Zero
Roll.
Gravitties. No, go ahead, what?
I did get a Spirit Roll, so you may have noticed with one of those Balloonos, I did almost an entire bar of health of damage to the Beetle Boy. And just to reiterate, when they use that, it lasts for about 8 seconds. So I try to ignore any time I need to cure anything during that time to prioritize DPS. So this is Holy Moly. When the fight begins, he's going to choose a random place in the arena to spawn. He chose a bad place for me, so I'm going to have to walk
Is he
all
on the
way over
wall
here.
or the ceiling? Oh, no.
He's on the floor
ground.
at least,
Okay.
but just because he's on the other side of the arena.
Yeah. He wants him to be on the floor, but yeah, he could have chosen a better spot.
Yeah, should be second phase. Nope. It's just a little
Not
short of second
quite.
phase.
Yeah. So once he hits him like one more time or so. Oh, man.
Oh, he came back.
Okay.
Now he's in second phase.
Okay, yeah. So the second phase is where he's going to spawn these hands out of the ground all over the place. He can't actually speed up this phase. I mean, he could kill all the hands, but it wouldn't speed up the phase at all. So instead, he just uses the time to go get that dream candy and check on the link gauges.
Yeah. Did we ever explain affinity? Because I just swapped out. I swapped back in phones, and basically just to take damage for me. If you want to explain like the whole affinity thing.
Yeah, basically, kind of like how in Pokemon, your Pokemon can like you more or less after I think it was Gen 2 or 3 where they introduced that. In this game, you have affinity with the your Dream Eaters, except they can lose affinity as they take damage. And if they get to 0 affinity, which because this is New Game Plus, they carried over and started at 9, then they will effectively be silenced and won't be able to cast any abilities like Spirit Roar. So we would rather have that happen to the Sudoneku or phones than we would for our 2 Magic Lapins.
You also notice how the Balloonos are doing almost a full bar of damage. That's thanks to having counterpoint.
They look like literally a full bar of damage
Yeah.
on those last 3.
That's thanks for having counterpoint sooner than we're supposed to.
I'm going to itch my nose. Oh, thank God.
I think I see a little plaid on Spike there. We got to cover that
I
up.
was about to say, I'm glad I wore my nice shirt for this one.
All right, so swapping back to Sora. So Sora's Country Musketeers is probably one of the longest worlds besides the final world. It has some of the most amount of fights in it. And it's also going to make a lot of use of that comet limit that we were talking about earlier.
Did you say you're going to be able to get Overcast in this one?
Not this one. It'll
Okay.
be Symphony of Sorcery.
All right.
Yeah. This is the second most important world to have Overcast in. If I'm doing a run at home, I lose about a minute to a minute and a half not having it here. So it's a little unfortunate, but it happens.
Also, if you're confused at all about the story of this game, just read the comics that are flying across your screen.
We're supposed to make that joke with Riku when they were actually in color.
When they were,
Doesn't matter, man. Black and white comics are still comics.
we might have been a little distracted.
Well, this is a pretty good time for a few more donations. See if we maybe hit that incentive.
Absolutely, and right now it is still just over 300, so we have a bit of time to get that filled up, but the run is getting closer to the end. So we do have $75 from Clouder saying, I just tuned in and I am so confused by all of these balloons. $20 from Anonymous, donating during Kingdom Hearts for Balloonera IRL and for Critical Difficulty Kingdom Hearts 2. Great run, guys. $10 from Denki King, just tuned in. I don't know what is happening, but I love all of it.
So I forgot to do something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I didn't equip the Keyblade.
Okay.
So this fight's going to have a lot more
Oh,
balloons than it's
no.
supposed to have.
Yeah, so you're still on your strength Keyblade right now, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm on my magic one. I needed to be on my strength.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. The other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that comet did, like, what, half of a bar to most of the enemies?
Yeah.
It would have decimated this fight if he had switched Keyblades.
Oh, well. It just gives you guys more of a reason to blow up more balloons.
Yeah.
Do we have any left?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have to imagine we still have some left, and people have just become exhausted blowing up all the balloons.
The arm pumping.
I would love to hear you, Bob, but
yeah.
there are balloons in my ears.
I somehow feel like we might have enough. That one had some distance on it.
I just noticed the rainbow on stream.
Reading green bean.
So yeah, now I'm going to swap out to that Keyblade that I was wanting to have earlier.
Yo, knockout punch.
Yeah. Yeah, so coming up, this next section of the game was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. Life finds a way.
Yo.
Yep. So who's seen Jurassic World 2 this month?
So it's kind of wonky, but for whatever reason, you actually want this adorable-looking T-Rex to be actually further away from the cart.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like some of the balloons are popping like on the railing or something.
Yeah, I don't know the exact reason. I just know that if he's in your face and the balloon is popping on him, it does less damage than if they break apart and hit him individually.
That was like the extremely kid-friendly version of Jurassic Park right there. Throw balloons at him. It'll distract him. He'll be so confused.
Quick menu here to
I think I
equip
have
dream
a fish in
candies.
front of me now.
Who made a fish? Did Fant learn how to make a fish?
Yeah, so because I used that elixir earlier, and I'm going to want to use some more comets, I just equipped dream candies there. Also grabbing a chest here with another dream candy.
Yeah, I believe so. You had the 6 from the Dream Eaters at the beginning, and then you
Yep.
pick up 3 more throughout the run, I believe.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're pretty specifically routed, just enough to get through all of the run.
So this is when the game likes to be weird and not let me use my limit, even though I can. Because I used an elixir, I know his gauge is full, but it just wasn't recognizing it. And
They were
that-
just catching up. They weren't close enough yet.
Yeah, that is the downside. If your Dream Eater's too far away, or if they're taking damage, then you can't use the link gauge. So yeah, that may have actually been it. If he was getting hit by an enemy, then
Yo, I said something intelligent.
Yo, shouts to Donkey Kong.
you know this, Paul.
Spike's favorite part of the run.
Man. Somehow I feel like this is not how you beat it.
You're even colored red like Mario.
Yeah. So unfortunately for Sora, when he fights the Beagle Boys, they're considered a boss fight, so he's not going to gain 5 levels off of this like Riku does.
That stinks. Stinks.
Yo, he got a spirit ore though. You can see the red aura that happened, and now like I think Stormageddon is the one that it's just. Or no, one of them. One of them was standing there casting spirit ore basically. You can also look right around Sora's face is where you'll sometimes see. There it is. Wow, right on cue. Spirit ore just pop up. That means 50% increase in total damage for Sora, which made that fight go a lot faster.
Yep. And I hope you enjoy the Beagle Boys because they're not gone yet. Have one more fight to see them win later. But yeah, coming up, it's just going to be a few sections of experience grinding, so we can probably fit in a couple donations.
Lovely, and we definitely have some. $10 from Bob the Ninja Goldfish saying,
Hey.
Personally, I think Natara needs a hat. I have to agree.
Yo, Bob, good job.
Just
back there,
saying.
dude.
Hashtag Balloonpocalypse. Hashtag Balloonra IRL. We have $20 from Rizukun. I hope I'm not latex to the party with this donation. I'm not full of hot air, I swear. $20 from Athena 21. Riku, I've come to bargain. Okay, and we're still $150 away from meeting that Balloonra IRL incentive. So if you want to know what that's all about, you've got about maybe 30 minutes to meet that, so we can do it. $10 from M. Dale saying, I am enjoying this to no end. Excellent cause and a lot of fun. Can't really ask for more.
What was that?
Don't worry about it. I wanted to use a comment though, but they just were not giving it to me, so I was just going to kill a different group later on. You can fit in a couple more.
Well, what I can do is remind everyone that this is RPG Limit Break, sponsored by Twitch. And it is supporting NAMI, which stands for the Mental Alliance or the National Alliance on Mental Illness, a charity who works tirelessly towards cracking the code of mental illness through various means such as education, leadership, and increasing the availability of care. Please join RPG Limit Break in supporting such a worthy cause.
That fade out sounded so long that I was wondering if all the balloons lagged the game.
So
not the ones in the game, the ones out here.
that fight he just did right there was like 8 elephants. They died very quickly to Comet. Well, that's actually a pretty annoying fight. You said if you don't.
Yeah.
Like, the worst fight on level 1.
Yeah, it's one of the most annoying fights because all of those elephants have a ranged attack that can stun lock you, and they can combo it, and it sucks. So it's really nice that we learned to just use Comet in there and can end it instantly.
I like how that wasn't just the original strat to use Comet in some places.
Yeah. It's because we used to use a different set of Dream Eaters that didn't give us Comet.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm just going to kill a few more enemies to make sure that I hit level 13 before these next boss fights. I'll need to use Comet Hill and then kill a couple enemies in the next room.
I will never get tired of seeing Comet come down and murder everything.
I should have saved Comet for Hill, use it on the dinosaurs.
Just the season finale of Dinosaurs, and now I'm depressed.
Yeah, so now we're level 13, and Sora's done gaining experience for the rest of this run.
Yeah, thankfully kind of here in the end game, this is actually, I guess, technically his second to last fight you're about to do?
I have Symphony of Sorcery.
Oh,
so.
that's right. That's right.
A few more of the Beagle Boys using Zero Graviza to suck him up, make him float, and then suck him together so that he's able to hit him more easily with the balloons.
So since we're done using Comet, I can sub phones back out.
Yeah, the other thing about these specific Magic Lapins that we carried over in New Game Plus is that they have a disposition that, first of all, gives them access to Spirit Roar, but on top of that, has fewer other abilities than the other disposition that gives them access to Spirit Roar. So that way, basically, you're hoping that RNG will be in your favor, and they'll just spam Spirit Roar more often because they don't have access to other abilities.
Yeah, we could have either been in Spark Jockey or Accomplice. Accomplice has other ones that just could waste time, so we stay in Spark Jockey.
And you want to explain what you're looking for here in these reality shifts?
Yeah, so those, you'll notice all but one of the pictures have the arrows pointed in the same direction. It's the one that's different. You do that, and it ends the reality shift.
So now we got Pete right here, and this is where we're going to be seeing Slow come into play. He wants to slow down Pete. One, I mean, obviously it's just going to slow him down, make him a little easier to deal with. But also, he has some really long attacks, I believe a DM later on that you want to avoid.
Yeah.
And the way it actually allows you to avoid it is that it gives you a big enough window to where you can constantly stun him and knock him out of actually using that attack. So with that, go into our final reality shift.
Yeah, and Pete's slightly different. There's only one picture that has arrows on it, so I just have to wait for that to show up. If I push the analog sticks in a different direction, I fail the reality shift and have to do it again. So I can't just guess and hope it's right. So I could, but
So you've been getting like pretty decent Spirit Roar luck so far.
Yeah, it's been
Could have
okay.
maybe gotten another one on Pete there, but on the Beagle Boys it was pretty good.
yeah,
And
Spelican
got
is
one
what
of
I
them.
really hope I get good luck with. Yensid face.
All right, so now heading back over to the Symphony of Sorcery.
Yeah, thankfully I do have Overcast for Symphony of Sorcery, so that will speed up the boss fight here a little bit. But until I get to the boss fight, this is going to be similar to Riku, going through using the reality shift to get rid of invisible walls, listen to some nice music. So until I get to the boss fight, probably good for some more donations.
Yeah, once again, guys, we are, like maybe a little over $100 away from hitting that incentive where we get to
$125 away.
125 from, pelting Adam with all these balloons. As you can see, we have a little bit of ammo in front of us.
And while he's doing a super boss, so he'll have to actually be paying attention to something, or we're going to distract the crap out of him.
So, if you got any donations or anything you want to plug, go for it.
Perfect. And for every $10, a minimum $10 donation during this block, you will be entered into a draw for a Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance pillowcase set.
They're cool, too.
So, yeah, they
Yes.
look fabulous. I think they were posted on the Twitter feed earlier. They look really excellent. We do have $25 donations from Sven saying, thanks for another great event supporting a great cause. I could not agree more. We have $75 from Druid Otaku. Need IRL Balloonra. We all do. $50 from Anonymous. Me? I'm already half balloon.
I'm loving the tweets, by the way, throughout this run.
They're real good.
But yeah, so he's going to be using a lot of these reality shifts just like he was when he visited this world with Riku, and then promptly ignoring a lot of the pathways that they open up. So you could probably just keep reading on those donations.
Well, first, I do want to share a little bit of good news. We have officially met the Ballooner IRL donation incentive.
Clap, clap, clap.
Why am I happy about this?
So that was thanks to all of you out there. So thank you very much. And there are still so many more donation incentives to support, even if they're not for this lovely, wonderful game. So we do have some donation incentives. Looks like a few bid wars coming up for our next few games. Final Fantasy Anniversary Edition is our next game. And you have the option to choose the Hellfire Chasm boss. So currently, Scarmione and Barbarisha, which I cannot pronounce correctly, but the Final Fantasy IV bosses are the ones we are bidding between. So if you have any preferences there, get some bids in. You can also name the Warriors of Light. And currently, anime is in the lead. So it's still time to give us your opinion on anime.
Bad.
I think I saw Puexo practicing Chrono Trigger earlier. All of his character names were Anime A, Anime B, Anime F. I was like, that's probably pretty accurate.
We have $75 from Anonymous. More balloons for those good, good boys. We have $50 from Profness saying, it saddens me that some of the most useful FF characters are so far down the naming list. What could possibly go wrong relying on PJ and Dan to save the world? Well, we may find out soon, depending on how those names come in. $50 from Valancourt. Is that one of the girls who played the Cannon Raiden part in DK with Spike once? That was some awesome fan art that got that made on that day. Her choice where the money goes.
We have both grown up a lot since
So
then.
please, if you want to
One
let
of
our
you have.
donation
Me not
station know where you want that
immaturity.
donation to go, muchly appreciated.
We should have just gone full out and gotten like face paint and everything.
No.
Warriors.
All right, we're almost to the boss.
Yeah. Once I get to this this promise, then I'm going to be doing a menu to set up for the boss. They're going to see Zero Gravity and Collision Magnet, both of which I got specifically for this boss fight.
Yeah, Zero Graviga is different from Zero Graviza because it doesn't have the magnet ability. But for some reason, even though you can't really get benefit from Zero Graviza on this boss, you can get benefit from Graviga.
Yep.
You tried so hard to make sure that was right each time.
Square Enix didn't feel like making that confusing at all.
No.
I also pick up Collision Magnet because this boss can teleport, and once he's in his teleport animation, he's immune to everything but Collision Magnet. I don't know why, but it's just the one command that can get him out of his teleport.
So the first part of this fight, he is going to be dealing with a bit of kind of a pseudo auto-scroller. Adam is going to have to try to dodge each of these to keep himself from getting knocked off track. It's about the point, I believe, where the paths cross. There's a bit of an X in the path. Nice dodge there, by the way. That he can actually catch up to the boss.
Oh, he does. He really dislikes when the orbs come from the right side. They just finds him a lot harder to dodge.
Yeah, so I should be able to hit him now. So the one thing to look out for at the beginning of this fight is for my magic Lapins. If they slap him at the beginning of this, it can mess it up. They tried.
They
They
tried.
tried.
I think they hit the rock.
They
Yeah,
just
they did.
weren't good enough at it. All right,
Yeah.
so the biggest thing to look out for here, again, he's going to try to keep him stunned with that Zero Graviga.
And the other command that he just used right there.
Collision Magnet.
Collision Magnet.
As long as he can, in order to get basically one cycle this boss, it'll be assigned to good boss if he kills him before he summons all of the enemies. We are sitting here with Overcast and
the Spirit Roar.
It's stacking.
So he had a perfect fight in the practice room, so we knew this wasn't going to go perfectly, but that was still almost
that was
as
still
well as
really
it could have
good.
gone.
Clap, clap.
Yeah.
That's a clap right there. That's right.
That's a real clapper.
Yeah. What a clapper.
It's way better than my average fight, so I'm very happy with it. Fun fact about that boss, when he teleports, he can actually teleport under the floor. That happened last week. Thankfully, the balloons can still hit him because they home. So
That is how powerful balloons are.
It
Clipping out of bounds, we'll do it too.
it was better for the fight because then there weren't obstacles in the way for them to pop one. Yeah, so with that, we're going to be going into the last world of the run.
Yeah, and these are the 2 final dives. Again, as we said a couple times earlier in the run, if he gets an A rank on all 7 dives with each of the characters, he'll get the best Keyblade he has access to for each of them, which is going to up his magic stat even higher. Again, you can see between Spirit Roar, the potential for good weather, and these best Keyblades, you're just stacking up your magic over and over and over again. Which is good because even though this game we are running this on beginner, or at least Adam is, I'm not. Sitting there at level 13 and 15 respectively, that's still very under level. You might think like, oh, you never have any risk of dying. There's actually quite a high risk of dying for especially some of these boss fights here at the end.
Yeah. I believe there are only 2 more dives that are going to be required before he can get both of the Keyblades, and 3 more dives total, right?
Yes.
So this is the last dive for Sora before he gets the fully upgraded Keyblade.
Yep. I'm also very happy that I one-cycled this boss.
Yeah.
I could one-cycle this boss almost all the time on the 3DS, but with the PS4 version, I think due to something with 60 FPS, I just have a lot of issues with it. So
There, you saw
really
that.
nice to
Take
get
my
it.
dog?
Super Keyblade.
Okay.
And
Oh, there
now
you go.
the game's going to force me over to Riku after these few cutscene skips, and then I'll be able to do Riku's final Keyblade-related dive.
Everyone saw the tweet. Thanks, Cosmic Spear. That was a good one.
Oh, I didn't see it. No.
I also managed to pick up a magic gain on Riku. The chances of that being useful are very slim. I guess big thing to talk about is that I need Overcast for Riku's first few bosses here, so I'm going to drop between Riku and Sora until I get it. I might get it instantly. It might take 10 minutes.
So to keep with the theme of going overestimate
Yeah.
at Limit Break 2018, we'll see what happens.
It is a possibility if I get bad luck with that. But I pick up a magic gain just in case Riku has Overcast already. It just lets me do slightly more damage. It's just very unlikely that it'll be useful.
So again, what you guys are going to be looking for when he looks out, which I believe will be right after this dive, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there's going to be 3 squares in the middle of the screen. He's looking for the little magic wand. That's the indication of having Overcast, which again is a 1.2 times multiplier, which will just speed up the bosses so much more than you would think. Mainly because it's going to allow him to skip a lot of phase. He ideally wants to see a magic wand on the 2nd square. Ideally, you see a magic wand in all 3
It depends on the
slots.
character. On
Yeah.
Riku, I want it on the 1st or 3rd. If I'm on Sora, I want it on the 2nd.
Yeah, because if he gets Overcast for both Sora and Riku, then he'll be doing the bosses in a little different order.
It's exactly what I did not want to see.
He was in the 2nd slot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just going to be dropping back and forth between the characters now until I get it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
So he lost that magic gain from the drop boost, but not as big of a deal as needing that Overcast.
Also equip diving now just because I have the menu open, so I may as well. But yeah, until I get Overcast, not really much to talk about, so we can throw it over some more donations.
And we definitely have some of those. $10 donation
got
from Sonic Shadow Silver 2.
Hey,
Hey,
thanks, Sonic.
what's up, Sonic?
Hey Adam, good luck with the run. Hopefully everyone in the room will be able to take down Julius together. Here's $10 to make sure Flavio will be able to tag along in the All Crystal Star run. We have $100 from DJC1183. Great game and a great cause. Looking forward to an awesome FF1 run by Portside. Have fun out there.
All right, so he got the Overcast.
Yeah.
And then he got it pretty quickly, and then he actually got a second one, so he decided to drop one more time. So now he is in Riku with Overcast, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to beat some of Riku's final bosses, but not all of them. And then he'll be switching back to Sora in order to beat Sora's final boss with Overcast, and then switching back to Riku, because there is a point at which it will not let you go to the ultimate final boss for Riku until you've beaten Sora's final boss.
Yeah, altogether, those 6 bosses in this world, Riku gets 5 and Sora gets 1. So it kind of makes up for that boss rush that Sora had earlier on. And I just have, based on what luck or what order I get the overcasts in determines what order I do the bosses in. The upcoming boss on Riku is actually the one I'm most afraid about dying in this run, so hopefully it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm just killing these guys to finish getting level 15, and now I can move on.
Okay, that magic increase is what we were looking for.
Yep. And yeah, I think until I get to the boss, it's mostly just movement.
Unless you want to explain a little bit about this.
The reality
reality
ship.
shift
Okay, yeah.
real quick.
So there are 4 chains on screen. Each one has a weak link in it. I have 3 attempts to break all 4 links, which means I need to break at least 2 with 1 swing. Ideally, I break them all with 1 swing, or whatever's fastest. The patterns are completely random. Sora and Riku each get a different pool of patterns that they could get. Riku has one specific pattern that I can just end instantly by pressing X as soon as it shows up. So it would be nice to see it. This one's
still
not
getting
too
the
bad.
second fastest.
Yeah,
though.
but there's also one that looks similar to the fastest one, but if I press X, it does nothing. So I hope I don't see that one.
It's a little unfortunate because I know you talked about on the 3DS version, use the stylus actually here. So no matter what pattern you got, it was fast.
Yeah, with that, you could swipe in any direction you want, whereas with the PS4, you're all locked into the angle that they want you to use.
Then again, I gotta imagine if they had made you use the touchpad, that would have been awful.
It wasn't too bad with stylus. Oh, you mean with the PS4?
If the PS4 touchpad,
yeah,
it would
no,
have been
that
awful.
I was fearing that when they announced this coming out, that they would use the touchpad for a bunch of those reality shifts, and I'm very glad they didn't.
They realized.
The menu you just did there, by the way, is he's done with Zero Graviga and Zero Gravizaz, and so and the collision. I can never remember the name.
Collision magnet.
It is magnet. Okay.
Yep.
So he got rid of those in favor of balloon rose and some more curing.
Yep. And also equipped dive ring.
Oh yeah, the keyblade that he got from the dives.
Yeah, I think we have time for some more donations.
Perfect. So we have a $75 donation from Hoodless Mads saying, gonna be crit. I'm a longtime watcher of the Kingdom Hearts speedrunning community. I've recently started running them myself.
Yeah,
Good luck
nice.
to all the runners. This is such a great event. Love you, Kingdom Hearts family. We have $10 from Shadical X, donating for a great cause and that beautiful balloon bath. Good luck on the run. Much love. Looking good, Spike. You truly are the balloon hat squid god of the run. Only we can know the truth indefinitely.
Fan, I don't know if this is a pretzel or a heart. You're gonna need some clarification here.
Can you like even see anymore, Spike?
Everything's just got a big orange filter over it.
Probably 1 or 2 more.
Perfect. We have $25 from Spinach saying, seeing you guys covered in balloons made a long day of meetings have a magical ending. Also, love to hear more of that Wonder donation reader's choice. Thank you very much. We have $50 from Rizukun saying, did you know that Agamas are champion table tennis players?
Oh man. All right.
We still have time.
Oh yeah, we do. Oh, I forgot about this room.
Yeah, there's still another room to go
Okay.
Okay, so we have a $300 anonymous donation.
Ooh, nice.
Yo, nice. Clap, clap, clap.
And all it says is, the Dark Elf will join the fight.
Gonna guess that's for another run.
You don't find a dark elf at the end of this one, do you?
Thing. Xehanort has elf heals.
Okay. Heck yeah, down with dark elves. All right.
Yeah, so coming up, as I mentioned earlier, this next boss fight is the one I'm most afraid of in this run. He essentially has a one-shot attack that he can use. Well, it'll lift me up into the air and drain my health to 1. It doesn't matter if my lapis kill me or anything during the attack, I will end at 1 health. It can't outright kill me, however, when it's done, I have to fall to the ground before I can do anything. So if he uses any other attack while I'm falling out of that one, I'm just dead.
Yeah,
So-
he basically can just infinite
Yeah.
at him. And the worst part about it, too, is that if you do die and retry the fight, all of your commands go on cooldown right away.
Yeah.
So instead of being able to attack right away like he is now, he'll have to wait. The other thing is that he's not going to try to really dodge the attack because the fastest method of taking out this boss is to just tank his attacks until you're low, and then heal up and continue tanking his attacks and using Balloon Res.
Obviously, would like to see some Spirit Roars here. Not seeing any in the early part of the fight, though he does have him down to a bar.
Luckily, he hasn't been thrown up in the air yet.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was awesome. That
Yo,
was really
clap
good.
for that
Yeah.
one.
I would clap.
And now we're going straight into the next 2 boss fights.
And now that was the oh, what, I lost my hat. That was the one that he was most worried about for all of these final boss fights. That doesn't mean that the rest aren't necessarily, dangerous, but
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
that,
hardest in terms of like can kill him.
Yeah.
So.
Yo, there we go. It's on there now.
Yeah, so this boss fight has 2 phases. I want to get the reality shift to go into phase 2 so that I can get my Dream Eaters back.
So that's this right here.
Yeah. When you're in flying areas like this, your Dream Eaters aren't active, so I can't get Spirit Roll.
So if they don't Spirit Roar at all, it would have just been better for him to, attack him in the first phase. But you can't know that. You got to go for the random chance of being better. And there's the Spirit Roar, so this is automatically a faster fight because he went into the second phase. And would love to get another, but just going to finish him off.
All right,
Nice.
GG, 2 down. And now he's going to get to fight one more here. This was probably the single biggest reason why Adam wanted to force Overcast
yeah.
in this kind of section for Riku. It's going to allow him to skip a very long DM, hopefully, on Ansem 2 right here.
DM being Desperation move, basically long invulnerability period.
Yeah, this fight's also very dangerous with Overcast because Ansem 2 has some strong magic attacks. The blue orb one specifically can take out more than 50% of my health if I get hit by it. So I do want to be somewhat careful with this one.
But if he's able to stay up next to the boss, he's going to be dodging some of the, projectiles that Ansem 2 is using, as well as being able to just get as many ballooners off as possible.
Yeah.
He will have to dodge away for every, fist attack, though.
Yeah. And with this reality shift, that should mean I'm good. Ideally, the fight will be done before he gets another attack in.
Man, Ballooner does so much damage with Overcast.
Spirit Roar's not even on right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, no. My Dream Eaters haven't been too nice with Spirit Roll. I think Hobbs jinxed it after Country
Yeah, I
Road.
was about to
No,
say,
I
they
shouldn't
didn't
have
do
said
anything
anything.
after
I'm
the fight.
sorry. I'm the worst. Cover me in balloons.
Yeah.
I'll just lay back and accept my fate.
I also found my water bottle.
I think all the balloons are up here.
I know.
I think they're starting to run out.
Oh man.
Is that the funniest thing I've said all week?
So with that, I believe now is when you're going to be dropping, right?
I actually got 3 Overcasts in a row. That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's great.
So now I get it for all 6 final bosses.
Incredible.
I was not expecting that. I
So-
didn't even check because I assumed it wasn't going to happen.
He won't be able to progress any further as Riku anyway, so that's why he was dropping back
Yeah.
to Sora. Sora's now going to take out his one final boss. Riku's still got two more. Riku still has 2 more after he drops back, and so even though it would have still been faster, not, to do this even without having Overcast, he had to do it this way. It's
Yeah.
really nice that he's going to have Overcast for those final 2 bosses.
Yep. And Xemnas is another boss that has a one-shot ability that I need to be careful for. If you're familiar to the fight in KH2, it's where he'll circle around you and make a circle of lasers. As long as I interrupt it at some point in the attack, it won't kill me. But as you know, Balloona has a long casting animation. So if I'm starting a Balloona cast as he starts that attack, there's a good chance I would die to it. But it's not as scary as Anti-Black Coat. Yeah, we have a couple rooms before I reach Xemnas, so we could fit in a couple donations.
Absolutely. So we have a $20 donation from DoWolf saying the balloons are ready. P.S. Let the suplexers unite. And we've got a few donations coming in for our upcoming run, Final Fantasy 1. So maybe we'll hold on to those for the next run to make sure Poor Scythe doesn't miss those. Do want to remind you that Final Fantasy 1 is our next run, and we do have some donation incentives for that, including choosing the set of bosses fought at the Hellfire Chasm, and also to name the Warriors of Light. That has changed quite a bit. Astos is in the lead, followed by Dan, Garion, and Anime is still there. So if you do want to push Anime out, you do still have some time, but not for much longer.
Do not have Anime.
Apparently
How
we
much
have
money
a
has
fight.
anime single-handedly
How
made
much money
between
is
Wizards and
anti-anime raised? 'Cause it's probably pretty
the
similar.
war on anime. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Read charity.
What I can do is let me let you know about the Yeti, who, once again, the awesome t-shirts are back for another year, courtesy of the Yeti. That's YETEE, theyeti.com/RPGLB. And the Yeti is donating $4 from each shirt sold to NAMI. So please, if you like any of the really excellent selection of shirts that is up there this year, please give a think about purchasing one.
So you notice right there, I went and touched the save point. Something we never explained is that the game hates healing your Dream Eaters. It'll heal you before boss fights or when you switch roads or such, but it just never heals Dream Eaters. And if they die, I have to go resurrect them. It takes a few seconds because if when they reach 0 health, there will be a 30-second countdown. If that reaches 0, they are gone for good.
He also
So-
super glided right there back to his Dream Eaters because he knew that Xemnas was going to teleport, and he needed to be near the Dream Eaters for them to use Spirit Roar.
Yeah, if I'm away from the Dream Eaters, they'll waste their time just casually walking up to me instead of doing anything useful. So I try to stay next to them in
Which,
this
I mean,
fight.
they might as well have so far in this
Yeah.
fight.
I mean, though using fire, that's doing
There it
chip
is.
damage.
There is a small chance.
No.
No. Rez, I'm mentioning it.
Shouldn't have said it.
He could have potentially skipped this DM or this transformation and everything, but he really would have needed a lot of good Spirit Roar luck pretty early.
Yeah. You have to keep him stunned for his entire 4 or 5 last bars of health. If he ever is not stunned doing it, he will go into this attack. But yeah, so at the end of this attack, there's going to be a reality shift. I'm going to fail it on purpose. If you do the reality shift, he'll get stunned for a couple seconds, but then he has super armor for the rest of the fight, which means he can't be flinched or interrupted. And I don't want to deal with that in this fight. It's much easier to just fail the reality shift and let him still flinch when getting hit by Balloon Rose. As you can see, it just keeps him still for a bit.
There we
There
go.
it is. Very nice.
That was really nice patterns he gave me. He didn't use either of his annoying attacks. Like, he can make walls that your balloons will pop on instead of hitting him. So not seeing any of those is really nice.
Teleported around a bit, but not too bad.
And so with that, we're actually done with Sora. Again, that was his only boss that he had in the final world. Again, the way this could have worked out is that he could have got to do Sora's one and then do all of 5 of Riku's in a row. But again, the way the overcasting worked out, even though I guess we could have had.
Yeah,
This ended up being the fastest.
Yeah, if I had noticed that third overcast, I could have done Sora's and then back to Riku, but I
okay.
didn't. I assumed it wasn't going to happen.
Sure.
Because this is
Had
maybe,
you ever seen that before?
This is maybe the 3rd time I've seen it.
Wow. All right, so now we're going to go fight the final 2 bosses of the game, both of them with Riku.
Yep, this next one, YMX, Young Master Xeno. If you know Mysterious Figure from Birth by Sleep, this will be familiar. I want him to teleport behind me at the start of this fight. I'm really hoping he does. Oh, I didn't. So, if he teleports behind me, my magic Lapins will just slap him with their ear and stun him. It's not that helpful, but it's funny. So, I was hoping it would happen.
I'll just do this.
But yeah, this boss fight has 2 phases. First phase is pretty straightforward, just get down his health. The second one, however, is what we call clock phase. Once he's dead, he's going to teleport to the middle of the screen.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So he's going to teleport to the middle and summon a clock. I need to destroy that clock to finish the fight. My Lapin slapped the clock right then. Yeah, at the beginning right here, I'm going to cast a couple Balloonas. They can't auto-target it, and you can't target the clock itself, but it can still take damage. So as long as I put the balloons on it, it will hurt it. And now is why I equipped High Jump before this fight, because the first phase is always this, where he'll summon clones to try to hit me. So I just High Jump above him.
Ooh.
Again, does not want the clock to run out or it will basically restart the fight.
Yeah, which with that Spirit Roar is guaranteed
Yeah.
to be fast enough.
All right, so here now, final boss.
Well, one more dive.
Oh, one more dive.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, we get to play tag with Sora.
I do like the attention to detail in this dive, though, even though I forgot about it.
Yeah, so if you want to know the plot of the series, just watch the cutscenes in the background or the pictures in the background of the dive. It pretty much sums up the
It'll
game.
all make
Yeah.
sense
Yeah.
if you've never played a Kingdom Hearts game.
You see, the first thing we need to talk about, though, is parallel universes.
But yeah, so for this dive, I just need to tag 30 of these Soras. The dive doesn't end when I get 30. I just need 30 before I reach the end of the dive or it resets. So I can take my time with getting them. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and talk about the pictures going on in the background.
We got Hollow Bastion, KH1,
Yeah,
Oathkeeper
yeah,
showing
Chia's
up.
inside me.
Yo,
Yeah,
Riku's
they're all happy
there.
and everything. Yo, they woke up.
Liam Neeson, he's over on the side.
Yeah. Dudes in cloaks. That's dope. Oh, then he's handsome, but then he was actually Riku. That part's kind of confusing. But then Roxas gets to be a part of him. Then yeah, and
Roxas
then
is
they
also
go
kinda
there, and then they get
Ventus
to get
and,
out of there.
So-
Also, Sora actually upgraded from Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora to 2 Sora when it phased over to that part.
So-
that was pretty cool.
So now when you see KH2 later in the marathon, you know exactly what's happening in the story.
Yep, no confusion whatsoever.
Also, apologize for anyone who actually wants to see this boss. He's a black boss in a black room.
Yep, just
Yeah.
doesn't really show up. Now, he can make the room white, and he can make it two different, like, styles of white, I guess. Not
Yeah.
shades, really, but the one we want to see is
This one.
This one, where he's actually still able to attack the boss. Now, the problem is the boss gets a lot more aggressive when in these white rooms, so it can be a little dangerous, as well as just, you know, troublesome when it comes to casting more Balloon Rose. But at least it's better than the other version of the white room, where he wouldn't be able to hit the boss at all.
Also, if you watch the BBS run last year, you might recognize some of these attacks that the boss is using.
Yo, nice drain that they
Yeah, that's useless. This is the other white
Okay,
room.
yeah,
the one
so
you
this
don't
is
wanna see.
just a time waster.
Yeah, because I can't damage him in these orbs. So I'm just stuck flow mushing around until it's done. Luckily, it didn't take too long. Hey, spit roll.
We're going to be coming up on the final minigame here.
Yep, so
Because what's a Kingdom Hearts game without ending in a minigame at this point?
So this is the one point where English loses time to Japanese. In every other version of this game besides English HD, the fight just, like the minigame just starts to, but instead I'm stuck waiting for 5 seconds until he decides to do something.
There we go. And
So-
time is coming up, so get ready. Oh, I'm supposed to pop another balloon on time.
And time.
Yeah.
Underestimate.
How does it feel knowing you're the 4th run of the marathon to come underestimate?
All right.
Oh, thank you.
So that was a great run.
Thanks.
So now we got the level 1 Julius incentive, right?
Yep.
So
Yo, you found your water. Oh my God, there are so many
I
balloons
made
down
that
here.
joke like 10 minutes ago.
So Adam's going to be loading up a file for the level 1 Julius incentive.
Yep.
And we're going to be surfing through the sea of balloons here
Atlanta.
to pick up a bunch and throw at him. So thanks for donating for that. And you know what? I think this is only going to work if we get like as many people as possible to come up and throw balloons at Adam.
Believe it or not, we have plenty.
So hold on, we all got to load up ammo, okay? But we're not going to start yet, all right? We got to wait for him to start the boss. Also, I got to sit back down because this cord does not reach. Wait, I don't need the headset anymore. You can talk.
No,
I feel like
But-
this is yours.
this boss is so intensive. All right. Okay, so I guess just to show, I am level 1. My Dream Eaters aren't level 1, but I can't do anything about that, so. What? Oh, no, I'm just gonna, yeah. Yeah. No, not gonna follow me around doing that. You sat on a balloon? Okay, no. Okay, yeah. Okay, so. Oh.
So are we supposed to be cheering for Adam or the balloons?
It's a good
All right,
question.
everybody's locked and loaded, right?
All right, so I'm gonna
Okay,
let this
so
cutscene play out. for
Should
the-
we let you get into the loop first?
Yes.
Okay.
All
Definitely.
right.
So
Wait on our command.
Yeah.
the hard part of this boss fight is getting him into the loop.
Yeah.
And then not breaking the loop for the rest of it. But he can do the loop fairly easily once he's in it. So we're going to let him
Yeah, so Julius, I don't know what he's from. Something Disney related. But yeah, he just shows up. No, I have to use a new file for this because you have to beat the game to see it, and the credits are 16 minutes. I don't think we want to sit through that.
Well, and it's level 1.
But even if it wasn't level 1, I'd still load a file so that we didn't have to sit through that.
Okay, so wait for when he says he's in the loop.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the loop is entirely dependent on him, so it might take a while.
He's also using Balloon, not Balloon Rub, because
Yeah.
level 1.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a specific attack from him, and hopefully it doesn't take too long to get.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
You can
the-
see how much damage he does.
Yeah, and Balloon is actually specific for a part of the loop. We'll get into that here in a little bit while he's getting pelted.
Yeah, I guess if you guys remember how the fight works, if you want to explain it. So no? Okay. Yeah, so essentially Julius has a flinch counter. If he gets hit by 8 attacks, his attack that he's currently using will get interrupted, and I'm in the loop, so.
All right, fire! just like shovel as many as we can at the same time.
Quick! If we completely submerge him in balloons.
For those who can't see, he's also on his phone. There's a good reason he's on his phone, though.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, so as I was
Cool,
explaining,
I know you played baseball. Get in here.
as I was explaining, this boss has a flinch counter. Once he gets hit by 8 attacks, his attack will get interrupted, and his AI prioritizes using that attack again over everything else that he can do. So by interrupting an attack and then fitting in another 8 hits, he keeps trying to use that same attack. This attack that he's using is the only one that gives me enough time to get in 8 hits to interrupt the next use of it. So it's a really hard to use my phone right now.
Do you want me to do
phone
it for you?
part
Are
is
you
the
logged
hardest.
into everything? I can just do it for you if you want.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Now here's the loop.
the biggest thing I'm worried about in this is being pushed next to a wall. Balloons, as I mentioned with Balloona, the balloons can get destroyed on objects instead of enemies. So if I'm next to a wall, all the balloons will just pop against the wall instead of Julius, and then the loop will break.
Now,
Yeah, so if you're curious, again, Hobbs initially wanted to blow up a balloon for every balloon that we used in the game.
yeah.
This boss fight is about 1,200 balloons.
About half of what he uses in the entire game.
Yeah. Because it's roughly 240 casts of the balloon spell, and each time I cast this spell, it's 5 balloons.
Adam, when does your flinch counter kick in?
I think when you mean my stamina bar runs out. Because after doing this fight several times in the practice room, my hand is kind of tired. Because I'm pressing the triangle button, 1,500 times about in this fight?
All right, we're like halfway through this fight. Do we have a donation?
Well, yes, we do. We have $10 from Atzero.
Hey!
Hey everyone, Adam here on the couch. I hope this Julius fight is going well and I haven't died from all these shenanigans. Thanks, Limit Break, for allowing us to do all of this, and I hope the staff have some plan to clean up all these balloons. Shout
I am
outs.
so sorry to the next runner.
Shout outs to all the Kingdom Hearts community members, especially the old Dream Drop Distance Race crew, Faye, KH Fan, DJ Tifa Heart, and Other Rebel, and Karakov, putting this money towards Riz Kingdom Hearts 2
Leave that one
critical
there.
incentive.
It stuck to his hand.
We also
That
have
was you? Yeah.
we also have $20
he
from
broke
Northern Yeti saying
broke-
Canadian balloons.
Oh no! So I got too close to that wall. I don't know if we want to try it again or just call it to that.
I feel like we got everything
Yeah, I'm thinking
wanted
we
out
got
of
it.
What's that?
How did you coordinate that? I'm so impressed right now.
All right, I think we're done, right?
Yeah, I'm good with calling it that.
Thanks, everybody.
You know how the fight would end. It's
Please
the same
enjoy the
thing.
rest of the week.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in for that, what I like to think was an amazing run filled with wonderful balloons. Just to remind you, we do have some more donation incentives before our next run starts. We are still trying to get donations for our Hellfire Chasm boss choice and to give an update on the Warriors of Light naming choice. Currently, Astos is still in the lead with $300. Dan is next with $207. Anime is still there for $195, and Cruel is in 4th place for $125. So if I understand correctly, the top 4 naming incentives will be chosen, so you do still have a bit of time. So if you do not want Anime to win or want to guarantee its victory, you're going to want to get that in now shortly.